We're all set whenever. And welcome back to Shark Center here at Illinois Wesleyan University. Eric Stock with Joel Swanson. If you just join us now, you missed a thriller in the opener. The Titan women rallied late to knock off the Carthage Lady Reds 62-61. Kendall Sosa and Sydney Shanks both had baskets to put the Titans in front in the last 30 seconds of the game as they get the victory and improve to 2-0 on the conference season. The Titan men are looking for their first victory in league play tonight against Carthage as the Titans come in at 5-2 on the year. Carthage comes in at 6-0. Interesting to note, however, that while the Titan women were playing their first home game of the entire season, Carthage playing their first road game of the year here tonight. Now, I'll preface this by saying they have impressive victories against elite teams. The defending national champs in Wisconsin Oshkosh, and also a win earlier this week against North Central to open up conference play. They've had some other lopsided victories against some lesser competition, and that's kind of skewed the stats a little bit. They're scoring 94 points per game, and they have the best field goal shooting team in the country at 57%. But there's still a lot of good with this Carthage team, and the reason they've been able to do that is because of great balance, not just their Twin Towers.
And certainly this is a very experienced team coming back here for Carthage. A lot of juniors and seniors, a lot of guys that have played a tremendous amount of CCIW basketball. And with the conference right now kind of reloading in some of the top powers, Augustana, Illinois Wesleyan, kind of reloading a little bit this year, it could be a time for Carthage to take advantage of that. And we'll see if the Redmen, it kind of starts here for them. They knocked off North Central in game number 1. Now heading on the road. Boy, if they could steal one here in Bloomington, that would be a big feather in their cap going forward. For the Titans, boy, you cannot afford to start 0-2. So there's going to be some desperation on the floor for Illinois Wesleyan tonight. There's no doubt about it, especially if those first 2 losses are at home.
Well, the Titans coming in with a 5-2 record and looking to bounce back from their first league loss. This rivalry that has been largely controlled by Illinois Wesleyan. The 130th meeting tonight. The Titans lead the series all time, 102-27. And the Titans have won the last 3 head-to-head battles in this matchup in a series that goes back to 1946 and 47. And Carthage, as we said, their 6-0 start is one of the best that they've had so far in their storied basketball history. That 6th victory coming against North Central on Wednesday night. They actually had a 20-point lead early in the first half at 30-10. They lost the lead, and they were able to pull it out late. Keenan Baltimore hit a big free throw in the final seconds to seal the winner. North Central had a couple of shots to win the game with a 3 in the final seconds, and they rimmed off. Carthage picked for 4th in the CCIW coming in. I think a lot of that is because of the return of Brad Perry, missed last season, and some newcomers that have had an immediate impact so far this season.
Yeah, that's certainly right, and a couple guys coming back. Jordan Kodrowski's a big guard at 6'4", can really get the job done, and boy, Keenan Baltimore, you talk about a guy that can play inside, play outside, and Eric, he's been a nightmare matchup for the Titans in the past. You put a smaller player on him, he goes down and posts him up. Put a larger player on him, he takes him outside. He is a tough matchup, and you talk about the 2 6'11" towers inside. It's a really good combination, and it's been a tough combination so far for opponents of the Redmen, and we'll see what the Titans can do here against Carthage. This is going to be a really difficult opponent at the Shirk Center here this evening.
And it's the first of 3 straight against nationally ranked teams as the Titans go on the road a week from tomorrow at Augustana, and then they'll come back here on Shirk Center on the 19th and take on WashU, the 10th ranked team in the country.
Yeah, they certainly are going through the gauntlet here as we get into the beginning of December. And you know, it used to be you didn't start that conference season until January. You could kind of ease into the season, especially with a young team. those days are over. The CCIW game starting the first week of December. You already dropped your first one against Wheaton on Wednesday. Can't afford to drop another one here this evening. So, boy, some of those young players are going to have to really step up for Illinois Wesleyan. And Eric, it's really going to have to start in the backcourt for the Titans. They're going to have to find some scoring. No double-digit scores the other night. They're going to have to find some scoring from that backcourt.
That was the first time since 2001. In fact, 506 games since the Titans went an entire game without anyone scoring in double figures. That goes back to a November 18th, 2001 loss to Ripon College. Katie Gonzalez, the sports information director, tracked down that little nugget for us, but that's not a stat that you want to duplicate, having gone 18 years without that.
Yeah, only putting up 60 points on the board. Illinois Wesleyan really struggled on the offensive end, and it really started right from the beginning on Wednesday night. 10-0. Wheaton gets out right away. Boy, the Titans need a better start. We'll see if they can get a better start, build some confidence here at home against a good Carthage team, but they're going to need to really get off to that nice start, and it's really going to have to start in that backcourt, and it is a young backcourt for Illinois Wesleyan.
And with Grant Wolf out of the lineup again tonight because of the concussion, they hope to have him back in the lineup for the game at Augustana, so it'll be a third straight start for freshman Luke Yoder for Ron Rose's Titans. On Wednesday night.
Well, I think we were all disappointed. The film wasn't any better than it was live, and they always say film doesn't lie, and so we had a great film session. I think some things were very clear, and sometimes as a player, as you're playing, you think one thing, and then you see the film and you realize something different, and so we've got to give a better effort. And I think playing hard is two parts. It's physical effort, but it's mental concentration. It's the aggressiveness element. And we were just way too passive against Wheaton. Wheaton played, we're the aggressor all night long. And so we have to change that around in the CCIW, and playing a team tonight like Carthage, we're going to have to take the fight to them.
And as you have said before, the level of intensity and the physicality has to be ramped up for conference play. There's really no way that you can simulate that in practice, I guess. They just got to experience that.
You do, and we have so many guys that are really getting their first taste of varsity action. We have some frontline guys in Charlie, Doug, and Alex, but virtually our entire backcourt is experiencing it for the first time. And that's not an excuse. We should have developed a mentality of playing hard and being tough, but at the same time, until you're in it, you really don't know.
I mean, you start the conference season with your first two games at home. You got to win at least one of them. I don't know how you want to describe the significance of this game, but you certainly don't want to start 0-2 with those first two at home.
Well, you don't want to lose your first one, But the bottom line is that's in the past. We've got to learn from it. We know Carthage is an outstanding team. We got our hands full. But at home, we need to play with great pride. And the Shirk Center's been a great home court. It's been magical for this program over the years, and we hope that we can come out and show improvement from the Wheaton game.
Well, Carthage has the Twin Towers, of course, and John Johnson and Brad Perry, but they're leading the nation in field goal percentage. It's not just those two guys. What has made their offense so prolific this year?
Well, they're so well balanced. They do have the two 6'11" guys, but their shooting guard 21 Kradowski's having a great season. They've got so many different weapons. Baltimore, I haven't even mentioned they're all returning all-conference player in Keenan Baltimore. So they throw different lineups at you. They have different weapons on the floor. You have to guard 5 guys every possession. And then certainly your field goal percentage goes up when you're throwing it in the post as much as they are. And it's throwing it into Perry, it's throwing it into Johnson, it's throwing it into Baltimore, and then playing off that post area.
Now, your offense has been largely perimeter-oriented so far this year, and Wheaton was very good at stopping that, as they have been against most teams this year. But it seems, though, Carthage might be quite the opposite. Could that swing in your favor tonight?
Well, I think speed needs to be in our favor because size isn't. Virtually they have a size advantage at virtually every position, but I think we have a speed advantage, and so we need to take advantage of that. I always say, we don't come into the game saying we're only going to score in the post, we're only going to score in the perimeter. To be really a good offensive team, you have to have balance. And so certainly we hope that we shoot the ball better than we did Wednesday, but we're still going to attack the basket. You know, the game, when you break down the game, the more paint touches you get, the higher your shooting percentage and scoring goes up. So we're still going to try to attack the paint. Whether you score in the paint or kick it, it ends up being a higher percentage shot.
And are you pushing more of those front court players to shoot first, or just if the opportunity presents itself?
Well, we just want to attack and be aggressive. You know, we preach our guys aggressive, patient. We're going to be aggressive right off the bat, but we're going to be patient enough to get a great shot. And so I think you have to do that against a Carthage team that you may not get 3 or 4 great shots in a possession. So you got to be aggressive, seeking the shots that you want to take.
All right, so overall keys to get back to 500 in the league?
Well, we just got to play really hard. To let the chips fall where they may, but I really want to see our group go out there and compete tonight.
All right, we'll look forward to it. Thanks for the time, Coach. We'll talk to you afterwards.
Thanks, Eric.
That's Titans coach Juan Rose at our pregame show that is sponsored by Braze, where you can eat, drink, and be weird. Try the one-of-a-kind Brazito today. Voted best sandwich in town 3 years running. Now the starting lineups for the visiting Carthage Redmen. They will start Keenan Baltimore, second team all-conference a year ago, a 6'5" senior from Zion Benton High School. Jordan Kodrowski, a 6' senior guard from Downers Grove North High School. Krishawn Cook, a 6'2" senior guard from Niles North High School in Chicago. And the Twin Towers, Sean Johnson, a 6'11" junior center from Notre Dame College Prep, and Brad Perry, who is a 6'11", 280-pound senior from Maine South High School in Park Ridge. Perry sat out last year with an injury, so he is back for his senior season. The Redmen coached by Bosco Jurakovic in his 24th season at Carthage. Prior to that, 10 years at North Park, where he led the Vikings to a pair of national championships, has amassed 558 victories, which is 9th on the active Division III wins list. For the Illinois Wesleyan Titans in the backcourt, freshman guard Luke Yoder from Central Catholic High School, just the 4th Titan back to 1997 to start in the CCIW opener at point guard. The last was Travis Rosenkrantz 11 years ago. Joined in the backcourt by Keandre Schumacher, the transfer from Winthrop, and the University High product, who is averaging 17 points per game. It'll be Peter Lambisa, 6'4" sophomore guard from Mount Prospect, Illinois, and he is averaging about 13 points per game. Up front, Doug Wallen, 6'5" junior from Champaign Central High School, just under 10 points per game. And Charlie Baer, the 6'7" junior forward from Glen Bard South High School. He is scoring under 7 points, but 10 rebounds per game, which is second best in the CCIW. Our officials tonight are Eric Anderson, Connor Mooney, and Bill Utsteig. The Titans are in their home grays, which they brought out a couple times last year. I don't remember they won any games wearing those, and we'll see if they can have a better outcome this season in their alternate home unis, and Carthage in their road black and red and white trim, and Carthage on the front of their tops. As Illinois Wesleyan wins the tap and has the basketball as we're underway from Shark Center. We have a special guest at halftime tonight. We'll tell you about that in a moment as Doug Wallen pulls up and hits the jumper as Illinois Wesleyan gets the first lead.
Yeah, nice job by the Titans right there. Get that ball in the high post against the zone, and boy, Doug knows what to do with it. He's got that great short game.
Titans have the early 2-0 lead. It's Kodrowski on the 3, is long with it. And it caroms out of bounds untouched. Kodrowski shooting 38% from 3. Carthage 57% from the field overall. That's best in all of Division III basketball. And they're also holding opponents to 39% from the floor. That's best in the league.
Carthage with a 2-3 zone right here. Titans did a great job breaking that down on the first possession.
Yoder with the baseline pass to Wall, and his passer Bear was tipped, but Schumacher picks it up, flips it out to Lambesis. Chest pass into the corner to Bear. Brings it back out to Lambesis. Slides it down low inside the zone against Wallen. Pulls up, 12-footer is rimming good.
Yeah, that mid-range game for Doug Wallen. He is going to be tough in that high post area. You can see why Carthage is going to that zone with those two twin towers out there. It's hard for them to match up on the perimeter. Somebody's got to step out. Boy, 2-3 zone against 2-3 zone, Eric. When's the last time we saw this?
Not often here in CCIW plays. The Titans show a defensive scheme. They roll out about 4 or 5 times a season. Pass to the baseline to Perry. Looks to power it up and scores.
And both teams thinking they're going to have a hard time matching up. Carthage with the smaller players for Wesleyan. Wesleyan with the bigger players from Carthage. So they both pull out zone defense to start the game.
Perry averaging 8 points per game, gets their first bucket. The Titans are up by 2. Yoder to Wallen. Now on the left, Lambesis pulls up. Foul line. Jay is good.
Yeah, Carthage's got to do a better job with their zone defense. So far, the Titans have put the ball in the middle of the floor in the high post area 3 times and 3 buckets already. And boy, talk about a tremendously better start than Wednesday. The Titans have 6 on the board. It took them 4 minutes to score on Wednesday night.
After Wheaton already had 10. 6-2, the Titan advantage. The ball slips out of the hands of Krishawn Cook. He goes back to get it. Now takes off left of the lane, pulls up, and the floater is short. And the Bear has the rebound. One hands it down to Yoder. Yoder in transition, pulls up, top of the key, now takes off to the glass, and in.
Well, nice job using the body. Not only are the Titans in a 2-3 zone, you're seeing a 2-2-1 now. Full court here, a 3-quarter court from Illinois Wesleyan. And they want to pin the ball to the side of the floor, get a nice trap up the floor as they go, but really slow down that progression for Carthage.
Out to Kodrowski, good ball rotation. His 3 is long, and they'll call foul on Wallen for a push-off of Perry.
That's a tough call right there against Doug. The ball's coming off that weak side. That's just a long rebound right there. The ball went long. You can see the Titans trying to get position. It's a double stack inside for Carthage. You got to be careful of them lobbing the ball to Johnson on the backside. So Doug trying to wedge himself between those 2 big guys.
Now Cook looks to inbound, lobbing it out to Johnson. Overhead pass into the corner to Cook. Let's fly from 3. It spins out. It's tipped off of Perry's hands, chased down by Wallen, and poked from behind by Kodrowski. Then pinball near midcourt. Yoder picks it up to Wallen. His runner is short. And a foul on the floor after the miss by Wallen.
Boy, Titans fortunate right there. Doug just missed a layup. Didn't look like Cook even got a piece of him down low. Fortunate to get to the line. Nice start here by Illinois Wesleyan. But you can see what Carthage is going to do there, Eric. They're going to go high-low because Johnson passes the ball well, and Perry can pin with his size. When that ball goes out to Johnson, they're going to look to go high-low with the 2 big guys.
Wallen at the line, he comes up well short, and Wallen is 3 for 5 at the line coming into the game tonight, and that's surprising. 5 free throw attempts for your leading forward offensively.
Yeah, that means he's settling a little bit too much probably instead of being aggressive. There's that second free throw, goes down the well right there. There's the 2-2-1. You're going to try to push towards the sideline. You're looking to slow down the progression of Carthage, make them reverse the basketball. Not seeing a whole lot of trapping. Looks like mostly token pressure from the Titans so far. Take some time off that shot clock against that 2-3 zone.
9-2 lead here for Illinois Wesleyan. Right wing, Baltimore jacks up a 3 and hits.
They can shoot the basketball. 45% from the three-point line coming in. Now 10 out of 21 on the year. Talked about inside out in the pregame.
He's been their primary scorer in recent years, though not this year. The 3 gets the bounce for Keandre Schumacher, who's been as deadly as anyone in the conference this year from 3, 55% coming in.
Yeah, if they give up looks like that all night, it is going to be a long night for Carthage on the defensive end.
Well, they give Baltimore another 3, and he rips court on that one about a foot beyond the arc.
Better find him. They start off to a hot start.
12-8, Titans have the advantage. As Yoder swings it across to Lambesis, into the corner to Schumacher. Lambesis overhead pass to Yoder. Looks over against the zone defense. Schumacher forced out to the left. Yoder steps up, leans into a 3, and cannot get the bounce, but Bear is there with a tip in.
Just beat him on the backside. It can be hard with that 2-3 zone. There's no individual block-out responsibilities. It's hard to find people sometimes, and they miss Charlie Bear.
Ron Rose, the 14th-year head coach at Illinois Wesleyan, has a impressive record of 23-7 against the Redmen in his time on the Titan sidelines. Baltimore got knocked to the floor after the miss, and a foul against Carthage.
I think they called a foul.
Well, I thought so.
Yeah.
Not indicated yet, as the officials confer. Oh, by the way, so we're not going to hold you in suspense any longer about our halftime guest, Georgia Nugent, who is the 20th president of Illinois Wesleyan University, just recently named to that post on a permanent basis a couple of weeks ago. She will be our guest here at halftime, so we're looking forward to talk to her. And
nice.
Keenan Baltimore did get the foul.
Yeah, nice if they'd let that one go. Titans were 4-on-1 on the other end. Sometimes officials will look advantage and just suck on that whistle and let that one go.
Baltimore's first foul, second team foul on the Redmen. Lambesis dribbles right of the lane, backs down into the paint, needs help, finds to the back door. Wallen powers it up and in, and he draws the foul.
Yeah, you notice Carthage went man-to-man right there, Eric, so they got out of that 2-3 zone. And we'll see if they'll go back to it. Boy, the Titans, how about this? 4.5 minutes in. They got 16 on the board. Eric, I don't know how long it took them to get 16 on Wednesday, but we were well into the first half by the time they put up 16 points on Wednesday night.
And Wallen off to a great start, had a big game against Lake Forest, had 25 points in that outcome, and now he has 8 early for the Titans as they lead 17-8.
Yeah, 2-2-1 here once again for Illinois Wesleyan, and you just chewed up 7 seconds off that shot clock. Now that zone doesn't have to work quite as long.
Kudrowski, top of the key, is Cook holds the basketball, slides it inside. Johnson with a foul line jumper, a shot he probably wouldn't even take a year ago, but he makes it this time.
Yeah, there's the problem. The high post is a vulnerable place against the 2-3 zone, especially if you don't play it a lot.
Baseline for Bear, no good. Cook flies to the rebound and looks to run, spins out of trouble, now takes off toward the bucket, powers it up, and it gets the roll, but he does not get the whistle. It's an offensive foul against Krishawn Cook.
I think it was Peter Lambesis that time that stepped in and took the charge, and you could see that one coming all the way down the floor. Cook putting his head down, going to the basket, and that's his second foul. Boy, that is significant right there for Carthage, so he'll go to the bench. It'll be interesting when we see him again.
Knocked away by Kudrowski, and it goes out of bounds. So 2 fouls for their starting point guard, and TJ Best, a 6-foot junior guard from Arlington Heights, is in. This Carthage team is deeper than they have been in recent years. Some guys are really down in the rotation who were more primary players last year on a Carthage team that won only 3 conference games, though they gave the Titans 2 battles last year. They were 8-17 overall.
Yeah, they battled through some injuries a year ago, and have really built some nice depth.
Yeah, Perry being one of them, as the 3 by Lambesis is no good, but Wallen tips and saves the rebound, then shovels off to Yoder at heavy traffic and had it ripped away by Sean Johnson.
Well, Cook comes in averaging 7 points a game, but more importantly, 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Handles it well, doesn't turn it over much. Really does a nice job of getting everybody open.
Kudrowski baseline to Baltimore. Nicely done. Backdoor finds Perry for 2, and Bear lost him, and he ends up with a foul. A late hit on the baseline basket by Brad Perry.
Now, Perry sometimes finds himself in foul trouble. But he's a skilled player down low, has tremendous size, especially at this level. We'll see if he can knock down a free throw right here. Only 2 out of 5 on the season, and make it 2 out of 6 now from the free throw line. Another guy doesn't get there very often.
17-12, Titans have the advantage. Nearly 6 minutes gone by in the first half. Lambesis with the overhead pass to Bear. Bear roams left, looks for the handoff, but they curl it to Yoder. Drives, kicks it out to Lambesis, angles inside, has a seam layup, was tipped, blocked, knocked away, recovered by Yoder, who punches it up from 10 feet and hits.
A floater that time by Yoder, didn't take it to the Giants, just shot it right over the top of him. And the Titans extend that lead back to 7.
Carthage has over 8 blocks per game on the early season, second best in the league. Kudrowski with a drive at a jump pass out to Baltimore, tees up a 3. Off the heel, Wallen pulls down the miss.
Yeah, I think he thought he got hit that time on that 3-point shot.
Schumacher for 3, got it.
So you're going to have to find Keandre pretty quickly. He did a terrific job on him on Wednesday night, knocking down the 3. The Titans have a double-digit lead.
6 points for Schumacher, 22-12. Baltimore out on top to Best, back to Baltimore, slides it inside to Johnson, right elbow, poked away by Yoder, regains control, the runner no, Perry the rebound, and Perry the putback.
Now there's your problem right there, just too big, too strong down low. Titans couldn't snag the rebound.
Perry is 16-point-per-game scorer 2 years ago, the last time he played, averaging just 8 so far this year. Bear misses the baseline J, but Lambesis clears the rebound and carries it back out into the quarter. Wallen lets fly for 3 off the front of the 10. Karams to Kudrowski for Carthage, and he'll jog the ball into the front court for the Redmen. Top of the key to Best, and they'll back it up against Yoder. Out near midcourt. Nice shovel off to Johnson out between the rings to Perry out high, where the Titans want him. Now Baltimore has a seam, angles in, reverses for 2.
Boy, nice move by Keenan Baltimore. We talk about inside out, knocking down a couple of 3s. Take you to the basket as well. That's his game.
That's 8 for Baltimore, 22-16, the Titan advantage. Wallen top of the circle, over to Yoder on the left wing. Holds the basketball, spins it over to Lambesis. Bounce pass on the post to Wallen. Backing down on the 6'11 Johnson. Double clutches, had it blocked. Stuffed back at his face, but recovered. And they reset. Shot clock at 8. Wallen off a pick. Chest pass back out to Yoder. Shot clock at 4. At 3, Yoder crosses over, leaning from 12, and he hits.
What a floater that time by Luke Yoder. Outstanding crossover right at the elbow. The defender going one way, take him the other, and drop it home.
At 6 for Yoder, 24-16 Titans. As they stick with the zone, baseline pass to Johnson, floats it out to Kudrowski, lobs it right side to Baltimore. They try to skip pass across that zone. Baltimore still covered, overhead pass out to Best, inside to Johnson, back to Best, right side Baltimore with a step, a loose dribble. And Lambesis tried to lasso him in, and he ends up with his first foul and the team's third.
Gotta like how Carthage attacking that 2-3 zone right there, especially with Johnson. You know, Johnson, you can do so many different things with him because he shoots the ball well. You can put him in the short corner. They got to come out and guard him, and he can see right over the top. You can stick him in the high post with those long arms. He gives you so many options, and now we see man-to-man from the Titans.
Titans have led from at the beginning as they play man for the first time. Dribble drive by Kudrowski, no, tipped away. It's loose, recovered by Johnson to the baseline, and he gets the 8-footer.
Yeah, Titans need to corral that rebound right there. Got those block-out responsibilities. Got to get to the basketball.
4 for Johnson, 24-18 Titans. Corey No, sophomore from Muhammad. Seymour is in, along with the senior Alex O'Neal. At the post, hands off to No. Rolls to the left, backs up, chest pass Yoder, an open 3, got it.
Luke Yoder off to a great start. The freshman really stepping up. Titans narrowly missed Grant Wolf the other night. Needed some guys to step up, and Luke's certainly doing that here in the first 10 minutes of the contest.
Yoder now with the 9. 10:45 to go in the first half. Titans are up 27-18.
And switching up now, back to the zone.
Into the corner, an open man. The 3 is well long by Philip Bulatovich, the freshman from Harwood Heights, Illinois. He's been a big impact player for them in his first semester. Left side Yoder with a fake, rolls off, kicks into the corner. Lambesis long on the 3. Johnson with the rebound at the outlet to Kudrowski. Hot foots it with the 2 trailers, and he lays it in.
Yeah, you got to have somebody rotate back defensively. Titans got caught napping that time. That shot goes up. Got to have good defensive rotation, and nobody got back.
27-20, approaching the midway mark of a fast and furious first half here from Shirk Center. Dribble drive by Yoder, knifes in, has it rejected, picked up by O'Neal. That's blocked. Johnson with the rejection again, but O'Neal sticks with it and it recovers off the glass.
Yeah, way to stay with it. We've seen Alex have some great games against Carthage in the past. We'll see if he can come up with another one tonight.
Shooting nearly 70% from the floor so far this season. And the Titans lead 29-20. And the Redmen have 4 starters shooting over 50% for the floor. As the ball rolls away from Johnson, it's loose, and a tie-up between Corey No and TJ Best. The possession will stay with the Redmen.
Yeah, nice job that time. The ball went in the high post to Johnson. One of those guards came from behind, just got enough of the basketball to knock it away. And again, Johnson causing fits against that zone for Illinois Wesleyan. And now they're going to match up and go man-to-man here. 20 seconds on the shot clock for Carthage to be able to get a shot off. But the Titans now are going to switch into their man-to-man defense here and showing Carthage some different looks in the first half.
Freshman Cody Mitchell is into the game for the first time as Keandre Schumacher returns, dribbling baseline. Inside, Kudrowski, nicely done, finding Johnson, but he couldn't get it to go. The tip-in, however, comes from, I believe, TJ Best getting that bucket, and we come to a 30-second timeout here with 9:25 to go in the first quarter. The Titans are still up 29-22. That was Bulatovich, actually, with that basket. He's averaging 11 points per game off the Carthage bench. Another reason why this team is leaps and bounds ahead of where they were last year.
Yeah, and we've seen Sean Johnson the last couple of years, Eric, but he looks like a different player right now, and you can see he's put on a lot of muscle on that frame, and boy, offensively, he is a nightmare matchup out there at 6'11". His ability to be able to step out, we saw right there, he misses a shot, able to tip back his own miss. Boy, and you said it, he's got all conference written all over his performance here so far this season. Not just blocking shots and rebounding, but his ability to score as well. Carthage has some difficult matchups. Titans with that 2-3 zone so far have kept the Redmen off balance, but still 22 on the board for Carthage so far in the first half.
Both teams shooting over 50% from the floor in the first half. Carthage has 4 blocked shots already. Schumacher with a kick in the corner. Mitchell lost it, regains control. On the cut, finds no. Floater in the paint, no good. And the best pulls down the miss for Carthage.
And you saw the rim protector right there. That definitely was a much more difficult shot for Corey No than it usually is. Had to arch that one pretty high and came off the back rim.
Best dribble drive baseline. Had it poked away by No. Then he threw it away. The steal goes to Lambesis for the Titans. On the right to Schumacher. Baltimore gambled for it and knocked it off his own leg out of bounds.
That's the aggressiveness we just didn't see from the Titans on Wednesday. Right there, nice job by Corey No, just getting up in the grill of the player. Lambesis fills that passing lane, causing that turnover. We just didn't see much of that from Illinois Wesleyan earlier this week.
And Titans had just 21 points in the first half in that sluggish loss to Wheaton. Dribble drive by Schumacher, fouled before the shot. Coming up against the Redmen on Best. And that's his first, team's fifth.
And baseline out of bounds now here for Illinois Wesleyan. We'll see if they're going to run Corey No off this double screen right here. If the Titans have something else to draw up.
He's outside the half circle, catches the pass, floats a baseline jumper just as Joel drew up, but he missed it, and Baltimore has the rebound.
Now let's see now if the Titans can dig in a little bit. Here's your nightmare matchup in Baltimore, and that's a senior right there. Making that move, drawing the contact, selling it to the official. Carthage has a lot of experienced guys on this roster. They took some pretty heavy hits a year ago. Weathered the storm, brought a lot of guys back from last year. It's paying dividends.
Foul on Cody Mitchell, his first, team's fourth. As the inbound comes in the corner to Kudrowski, they force him to his left, goes baseline, threads it out to an open Best. His three is off the front of the 10, tipped up by Johnson. No, loose Baltimore with the recovery. His stick back, no good, tipped up by Johnson. No, Johnson a third time gets this one to fall.
Yeah, a little volleyball that time for Carthage. Big on big, 6'5", getting it up on the basket. 6'11", finally knocking it through.
29-24 as No rolls off a screen, tightens up by a handful. No dribbles baseline around Johnson, kicks the ball into the corner. Jump step, Lambesis drops it, baseline and scores.
That's one of the difficult things for Carthage is that Johnson just can't sit in the lane. Everybody for the Titans can shoot the basketball. O'Neal going to struggle a little bit more, but Johnson just can't patrol the lane in there because they can spread you out, and that's what the Titans did on that particular possession. Now back to the zone.
31-24, Titans up. Johnson fakes a pass to the right elbow, gets it back from Baltimore, kicks it left side to Kudrowski, an open three, rimmed it, no. And Mitchell pulls down McCarron for the Titans.
A good weak side rebound by Cody Mitchell.
Pass to No, the layup no good, and O'Neal tried to slam it home with a putback, but didn't have enough reach to get to the rim and drew the foul.
I love that from Alex, though. Great timing right there. Just about got that ball down. Good job by Alex O'Neal, crashing the glass. He's had some good minutes here so far tonight. He's a real key. I mean, talk about if the Titans have any size at all, he's probably it. He and Charlie Bear. The first free throw up and good for Alex O'Neal, and now Bear will enter the lineup. The Titans going with a couple bigs down low to try to match up. As Perry still on the bench, we'll see if we see him for the Redmen in a few moments, and it looks like we're going to see Matthew Leyritz for the first time for the Titans here in just a second. It looks like Alex is going out of the game if this one goes down.
And it does not, so O'Neal settles for one. He has 3 points, so Leyritz, who played just a couple of minutes at his first game back from a toe injury, will come in at the next whistle for Coach Rose. Titans lead by 8. Johnson inside, dribbling right lane, offensive foul. And this time it was No taking the charge.
Yeah, you absolutely love that as a coach. Weak side, slide in there, get your 2 feet above that arc right there. As soon as Johnson puts that shoulder down, step in and take that charge. Good weak side defense that time for Illinois Wesleyan. Well, anytime you see that ball on the opposite side, the big guy grabs it, puts that head down, you can step in there and get that charge. Excellent job by the Titans, and now Johnson has to go to the bench. All of a sudden now, boy, you look at Carthage on the floor, you talk about a different team without the rim protector out there.
Yeah, they are considerably smaller from Twin Towers to No Towers as we see the pass to the baseline going to Bear. Bear against one-on-one coverage down to the block, looks, double clutches, left is short. The ball was tapped away. The defense there provided by Preston Lakutta, a 6'5 senior from Concord, Michigan. He was another one of those high rotation players last year that has been sort of scaled down a little bit with the return of Perry.
They saw Charlie that time on the spin, hesitates for just a moment, but that hesitation cost him right there. Take that ball to the basket with those shot blockers out of the game.
32-24, Illinois Wesleyan with an 8-point lead. They've led from the get-go. Now at the top is Jacob Poglaze, a senior guard from Perth, Australia. Dribble drive, the runner in the paint, no good by the freshman Jelatovich, and a foul on the floor against the Titans.
Warning on Illinois Wesleyan.
I think they called a flop,
Oh,
Eric.
that's right. Yeah, right.
We're still adjusting to this call here this year.
Yeah.
I think that's what the call was.
Yeah, that was, and that is the motion where the officials pretty much lay their open palms down, and it's essentially a warning as a delay of game as Bear gets the feed from Leyritz for two.
Nice cut that time by Charlie Bear on the backside. And the Titans extend back to a double-digit lead.
Second bucket for Bear. Baltimore runs into a brick wall in the paint and has to kick it back out. Joshua Washburn, a junior guard from Kenosha, is in the lineup. Now it's Poglaze. Baltimore with a step. Burrows his way inside. A runner no good. Tipped out of bounds. And it was off of Leyritz. It'll still be Carthage possession.
Yeah, when Keenan Baltimore drives to the basket, he draws so much attention. It leaves that weak side board open, and Carthage did a nice job crashing right there. It'll be interesting to see how long Carthage will sit with Johnson on the bench. They'll sit the rest of the half, or they'll bring him in a little bit earlier. Still 5:50 to go in the first, and with a 10-point deficit.
Lambesis is back in for Corey No. Titans up by 10. The biggest lead of the game thus far for the Titans. Baltimore arches a three and it hits, and that is his third triple over the first half. He now has 11.
Yeah, he's a tough matchup for Charlie Bear. He can put the ball on the floor against Charlie. Didn't quite get a extra step out on him and knocked down the three-pointer over the top.
34-27 Leyritz with an 18-footer right wing. Nothing but net for Matt Leyritz, and he gets his first basket of the season.
Yeah, good to see him back in the lineup. He's going to provide some depth for Illinois Wesleyan up front, and eventually he might find himself a lot farther up in the lineup.
Yeah, high-impact player, was a freshman last year from St. Louis, Missouri, and University High School. Three on the way, no good by Baltimore. Chased down to the corner by Washburn, and they'll reset. Shot clock at 20, under 5 minutes till halftime. Back out to Jelatovich, and he gives to Washburn. Now it's 6, at 5. A drive by Washburn, throws it up, baseline, no good. A rebound goes to Bear. Now to Yoder in transition. Scissors his way toward the baseline, bounces it out to Schumacher. Schumacher pulls up, back into the corner to Yoder. Yoder on the wing, passes up the shot, out to Bear. Bear one-hands the ball, swings it over to Leyritz. A long two, showing that range, but this time it's short.
Yeah, just faded back just a hair on that jumper. Caused the ball to come up short for Leyritz. See if he can step into the next one and knock it down with some authority. Backdoor
pass, a tough catch in the corner by Lakutta. Now goes to Baltimore again, cut off by Bear. Right wing three on the way, rattling out for Washburn, and Bear claims the rebound.
Well, lefty got a good look at that. That was halfway down.
Lambesis lost his man. Baltimore gambled on the steal. Lambesis long on the baseline jumper, though.
Yeah, wouldn't go down. Got a really good look at the basket. Titans had a chance to have their largest lead of the half right there. Wouldn't go down.
Under 4 minutes left till halftime. Titans by 9 at 36-27. Going to the ball high, top of the key, Lakutta. Left side to Washburn. Jump step. Gives up at the bounce. Ball trickles away. Baltimore picks it up. Has a seam and glides in for two. And the foul.
Boy, and he got the foul out of that as well. Not a lot of contact at the rim. Boy, unfortunate there for the Titans. Loose ball on the floor. Well, Illinois Wesleyans had 2 or 3 possessions here, Eric, where they really could have extended the lead, allowing Carthage to hang around a little bit more than you would like. Carthage, obviously, a strong basketball team, but with Johnson on the bench, I would have liked to have seen the Titans extend the lead here in this stretch. Keenan Baltimore is having a night so far. Only double-digit score for Carthage in the game. He's been awfully good.
He has 13 points. Leyritz with his first foul, and the team's 5th. And Baltimore sinks the free throw to trim the lead to 6. Now one of their big men, Brad Perry, comes in replacing Baltimore. here with 3:32 to go in the first half, and the Titans up by a half dozen. In the second CCIW game of the year, Carthage coming in at 1-0, 6-0 overall. Titans looking for their first league win. Yoder on the dribble drive, and he goes glass for two. Luke Yoder, the first Titan to double figures tonight, something that never happened on Wednesday night.
Yeah, Titans got a switch right there. Small on big, using his speed to get to the basket.
38-30, Titans now by 8. Top of the key, Perry trying the high-low underneath to Giladovich. And looks like he got pushed off underneath, and this one will go against Keandre Schumacher. That is the team's 6th and the first on Keandre.
Yeah, the Titans got caught on a switch inside, and boy, Carthage did a nice job taking advantage of that, as you mentioned, Eric, going high-low.
Washburn looks to inbound and threw it away all the way in the other end, and the Titans are just trying to, well, they would have had a chance at a breakaway had Wallen chased it down.
Well, right now, Cook on the bench, Johnson on the bench. Both of those guys have 2 fouls for Carthage.
And TJ Best as well, though he's not a starter.
And I think right now they're just trying to get through the half here, try to stay close with the Titans and make a push in the second half. And that's why Illinois Wesleyan needs to play with a little bit of desperation here in the last 3:06 of the half, try to open up this lead.
Yoder brings it up with Lambesis, Bears, Schumacher, and Wallen. Titans starting 5 on the floor as they attack. Backdoor, nicely done. Lambesis on the reverse for 2 from Schumacher.
Perry just doesn't quite have that length of Johnson to be able to protect the basket back there. And that time Lambesis using the rim as a shield, they'll put that one home.
Titans match their biggest lead of the night at 40-30. Pogles dribbles baseline, fading, 18-footer, yes.
Not much you can do about that. Good step back right there. Nice job creating a little bit of space for yourself. Knocking down the jumper. Well done.
40-32, Wesleyan, 2.5 left in the half. Yoder dribbles left baseline, gives up at the bounce and throws it out for Bear, threw it wide, and that'll be a backcourt violation once he touches it. And it will go back over to Carthage. No one touched it. It was not a deflected pass, in other words. And now Carthage goes back to the bench as they bring in Adam Radcliffe, a senior guard from Elgin St. Edward.
Hey, I'd like to see Luke that time. Again, coming off that screen, he turned that corner. I'd like to see him probe just a little bit farther into that defense.
Out between the rings, it's Perry. Pogles left side, holds the rock. Back out to Baltimore. Guarded by Wallen. Pogles finds it down low to Perry, and help defender Lambesis tried to step baseline and deny the post feed. Lambesis ends up with a foul, his 2nd, and that's the team's 7th. So that will send Perry to the line for a 1 bonus. Perry, 2 for 6 at the line this season, missed one earlier as Lambesis goes to the bench.
Yeah, Perry struggled from the line so far this year. Let's see if the Titans catch a break here from this the front of the 1-on-1. Nope.
First one's good. (40-33), Illinois Wesleyan with the lead. One more try for the senior big man from Maine South High School. Gets them both. And Perry now has 8. It's 40-34. Titans by half dozen. 2 minutes to go in the half. Wallen, the left side Schumacher, darts the baseline for Bear. Kicks it out to a wide open no for 3. Yes. Corey No from downtown. His first basket of the game. And it's 43-34.
Good inside-outside basketball there for the Titans. It's something we didn't see much of on Wednesday. Seen a lot more of that here so far. Much better movement. Titans go back to the zone here now. Picked up with the 2-2-1 full court. Now back to the 2-3 half.
Baltimore will jack up a 3, and he hits it again. The zone buster, Keenan Baltimore now with 17 in the first half.
Yeah, he's been terrific. He's really kept him in it here so far.
Yeah, down by 6 at 43-37. Titans have led from the get-go. No with the ball fake, wheeling left of the lane. Fakes, gives it back out to Yoder. Chest pass right side to Schumacher. He'll jack up a 3. That's off the back iron, no. Chased down by Perry. And they'll slow it down as Best will bring it up. Correction, that's Adam Radcliffe at the point. Now with a minute to go till halftime. Titans by 6. Yoder tight D against Radcliffe. And he threw it away. The steal by Schumacher, but he stepped out of bounds just as he grabbed the rock. So it'll still be Carthage ball, and I'm not sure possession actually changed hands. The shot clock is at 16, and they've not reset it. I don't believe they will.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to either. Titans doing a nice job getting up in those passing lanes on that possession right there. Now they'll settle back into that zone. They got to find 24. There he is right there.
And there he is shooting another three, and he hits it again from the same spot, deep beyond the left wing. And Baltimore now with 20, half of Carthage's output, and they are back within 3.
Yeah, he's having a night. You're going to have to find him.
14-second difference between the game and shot clock. Hand off to Yoder with the pull up in the paint. The floater from 13 is good, and Yoder now with 13 for the Titans.
Yeah, talk about having a nice night. Luke Yoder, he knows how to score. He's got that little floater in the lane, not trying to challenge those big guys, but getting it off before they can step up.
Shot clock is just about off. Now they do turn it off as Carthage plays for the final shot against the 2-3 zone with 13 seconds to go. And it's Radcliffe out near midcourt. They'll guard Baltimore closely here after hitting a pair of threes at the top of the key. Head fake, shot from 12, no good. Perry with a rebound, bottled up, stripped, and the first half comes to a close. As Illinois Wesleyan with a much more inspired first 20 minutes of basketball here tonight, leading at halftime 45-40 over the Carthage Redmen. We'll come back and a recap of the first half stats, have a scoreboard update, and much more when we return. But coming up next, our special guest, Illinois Wesleyan University President Georgia Nugent. That is coming up after this 2-minute timeout. This is Illinois Wesleyan Titan basketball on Classic Rock 98.3 WBXG, Rock of the Heartland.
Swartz. And we got a couple whose names I don't have.
And welcome back to Shirk Center here at Illinois Wesleyan University. We are at halftime, and the Illinois Wesleyan men lead the Carthage Redmen 45-40 here at the break. Eric Stock with Joel Swanson will be joining me in just a bit, and we're also live on the video at iwsports.com. And we are pleased to have with us for the first time tonight here on WEXG, Georgia Nugent, the new president at Illinois Wesleyan, the 20th president at Illinois Wesleyan, just installed permanently into that post a couple of weeks ago after the interim appointment back in August. And it's great to have you here with us tonight.
Thank you, Eric.
I know that when you were first chosen on an interim basis, you thought you'd kind of stick around for a little bit, kind of see how it was going and keep the train on the track, so to speak. And then I guess you had an epiphany that this is a place where you wanted to stay. So take me through that process and your decision to want to be a part of this long term. And, of course, the university wanted you to be a part of this long term, too.
Which was wonderful. Thank you for asking. You're absolutely right. I came thinking that I would be here for 1 year. I had done that before at a university in Ohio, enjoyed the experience very much, and that's what I was expecting. But I guess what happened when I came here, everyone had told me it's such a great community, and I found that that was true. And I just, as I came to know the university and its people, the faculty, the staff, the students, I just kind of fell in love with the place. And I also felt like there is a wonderful potential here to do more. And I got excited about the possibility of being a part of that. So I was really pleased and delighted when the trustees asked me to continue. And my husband and I, he's here with me tonight, we talked it over and we decided, yes, let's do that.
And how have the first couple of weeks been in the permanent role?
Well, they've been wonderful. They're a little daunting because people have been so welcoming and expressed so much joy that I'm continuing. So that's terrific. But as I said, it's also a little daunting. You know, can we do what I hope we can do together?
Illinois Wesleyan recently made news by announcing that it was boosting its funding for the McLean County Scholarship, going from $27,000 per year over 4 years for students from McLean County to $30,000 starting next year, bumping it up about 11%. So how much of an impact do you see that having in retaining and attracting new students from McLean County, noting that it has led to an increase in the 2 years since the scholarship was first formed?
Right. Well, we certainly saw a terrific increase when the scholarship first came into being, which, as you know, is the result of just wonderful support from McLean County, from our community. We saw a large jump in admissions, and those students are certainly retaining at a great level. Exactly what effect it will have to bump that up a little bit, you know, it's a little too hard to predict at this stage, but I'm confident that we'll continue to see a lot of great McLean County students, and that's what we hoped for. So.
And of course, Illinois Wesleyan has a very rich tradition in athletics. It has 8 national championships, including 1 in men's basketball, 1 in women's basketball, men's golf just this past spring.
That's right.
And Illinois Wesleyan has 24 academic All-Americans, more than any school at any level across the country. I'd like to get your philosophy about how you feel athletics sort of integrates into the fabric of a university's culture and helps with its image and that sort of thing.
Sure. Well, we know that about 40% of our students are student athletes, and many of them come to us because they want to play in D3. They want to play at a school that has great athletics, and we are that, you know. So that's the first thing, is that we know that's a big part of our students' lives. As far as how it integrates into the overall picture of the education here, in the beginning of the school year, I came out here to the court to speak to all the student athletes. And what I always emphasize with athletics in this kind of D3 context especially is that coaches are teachers. The coaches spend more time with their teams often than any individual faculty member spends in the classroom. And so what's important to our kind of program is that our coaches are on that page. And I know absolutely that Mike Wagner is, that his coaches see themselves in an educational role and helping our students to be excellent at their studies, but also, of course, athletics and team sports contribute to leadership opportunities. And we see that across the campus, that our athletes take part, they become leaders, they succeed here. So it's very much a part of the whole picture.
And we are visiting with Georgia Nugent, the new president at Illinois Wesleyan University, just a couple of weeks on the job since the permanent installment. Any goals, anything that you would like to see accomplished in the first year on the to-do list?
Well, there are a number of goals, sure. There are some ways in which we're looking at some changes in our program. For example, we will be bringing our admitted students to campus earlier this year. We'll be having special sessions during the summer when admitted students can have an opportunity to come here, meet faculty, begin to get involved right away. So that's something new that we haven't tried so much before. There are a lot of other kind of small changes like that are in the works, but I'll keep them a little secret for now. We'll talk about them later.
Sure.
We just had a wonderful piece of news that we were identified by one of the many, many rankings that are out there as among the top fastest rising liberal arts colleges in America. We were noted as number 4. I'd like to see us drive on up in a lot of those rankings and in the attention that we receive, the knowledge that people have of our quality. So that's an overall goal, is just to be consistently bringing that forward so that people see it. I'll give you a nice example. Last week, we learned that there was essentially an artificial intelligence conference at Harvard University. It's called Hacking Harvard, and Illinois Wesleyan's team won first place for creating a robot. That's kind of a big deal, so those are the kinds of things we want to see more of.
That is impressive, and as we get close to wrapping up here at halftime, this is your first basketball doubleheader here at Shirk Center today. The women played their home opener just a short time ago, and the men here tonight. There was an indoor track meet going on across the way.
Yeah,
and
busy all day.
Shirk Center is sort of a hub of activity for the central part of Bloomington Oval here today.
It absolutely is, yeah, and it's great to look out and see that we have students, certainly, but we have a lot of community members, too, who just enjoy coming to see a great game. And it's a good game tonight. They're pretty evenly matched. I'm glad that we're continuing to keep ahead, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we're hoping we can pull off the sweep. The women got the win earlier, and the men trying to do the same. Well, we appreciate the time and all the hospitality here. We'll look forward to continuing to follow your progress and the universities in the days, months, and years to come.
Great. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yep, glad to have you. That's Georgia Nugent, who is the new president of Illinois Wesleyan University, joining us here at halftime at Shirk Center. The Titan men lead Carthage 45-40. We'll be back after this timeout on Classic Rock 98.3 WEXG, Rock in the Heartland. Time at Shark Center. Our thanks to President Georgia Nugent for joining us here at halftime. Here, the Titans leading Carthage 45-40 at the break. The Titans have led from the get-go. They've been up by as many as 10 in the first half. The Titans shot 53% from the field, 19 of 36, including 4 for 9 from 3 for 44%, and 3 for 5 at the free throw line. Carthage 16 of 35 for 46% in field goal tries, 5 of 14 from 3 for 36%, and 3 of 4 at the charity stripe. The Titans were out-rebounded 20-18. The Titans had 2 turnovers, but Carthage had 6. Carthage had 4 block shots, none for the Titans. Luke Yoder led Wesleyan with 13 first-half points. Doug Wallen had 8. Keandre Schumacher 6. Peter Lambisa 6. Charlie Bear 4 with 4 rebounds. Corey No and Alex O'Neill both had 3. Alex also had 3 boards. Matt Leyritz had 2. Cody Mitchell has not scored. Keenan Baltimore 20 first-half points, including 5 of 7 3-point shots. Sean Johnson 8 points, 5 boards, 3 blocks. Brad Perry 8 points, 4 boards. Jordan Kedrowski and Jacob Poglaze have their other 2 as the Titans have a 5-point lead.
And a couple other scores around the CCIW. 2.5 to go first half. Augustana leads Carroll 26-20 in that one. And the last update we had, North Central had a lead over North Park 42-27 right before halftime in that contest as well.
And in the Division III football playoffs, one of the 2 CCIW teams advanced, and that was North Central, as they beat Delaware State 31-14. They will play at Muhlenberg, the only remaining unbeaten in Division III in the national semifinals. And Wheaton lost in one of the toughest and most bizarre fashions today to St. John's, 34-33, as Wheaton scored a touchdown with an offensive tackle scoring it in the final seconds of the game. They had a chance to tie it with the extra point, but the lineman, who doesn't score touchdowns very often, spiked the football, was called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, so they had to push it back to a 35-yard extra point. And after another penalty and a miss, the kicker missed it a second time, and St. John's won 34-33, spoiling Wheaton's perfect season up until today. But North Central does advance into the national semifinals, carrying the flag for the CCIW. As we begin the second half, a 5-point lead. Dribble drive by Lambesis, baseline no good, tipped up and in by Charlie Bear, and that is his 3rd bucket tonight.
Yeah, we talked about the matchups, tough ones for Illinois Wesleyan, tough one for Carthage right there. Lambesis able to get to the basket on Johnson, rotation over a little slow and open up that weak side rebound.
47-30, Titans go back to the zone, which they used a lot of in the first half. 3 missed by Cook. He spent a lot of time at the bench in the first half because of fouls. There will be a loose ball foul on this rebound attempt going against Keenan Baltimore. That is his 2nd foul. By the way, our halftime stats are sponsored by Crabtree Financial, proud supporter of Titan Athletics.
A tough break there for the Titans. Looked like Keenan Baltimore got an awful lot of the basketball right there. Might have caught just a little bit of a Titan. And the Titans get the ball.
Schumacher left side, rolling off a screen. High arcing shot from 16, a swish.
That's a tough shot that time. Boy, I thought Cook did a great job defensively, and Keandre still put that ball in the basket. Nice job by Schumacher right there. The Titans started off with this 2-3, 2-2-1, back to 2-3, and they continue it here to start the second half. We saw quite a bit of man-to-man from them as well in the first half.
49-40, Johnson at the foul line. Turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound, Perry. The putback, no, and it's blocked, but a foul.
That's an impressive block by Peter Lambesis right there, coming from the weak side. 6'4".
Against 6'11".
Yeah, getting up there and knocking that one away, but somebody must have gotten a piece of Perry as he put the ball up.
Well, Perry doesn't have to try to shoot over people very often, and that might have something to do with that as Bear picks up his 2nd foul. Perry at the line, rattles the first one home.
And Carthage is just throwing the ball right over the top of that 2-3 zone right now. Well, you look out there, 6'4" Kedrowski, 6'5" in Baltimore, and then a couple 6'11" guys. They're just going right over the top of that zone.
And he gets the 2nd, now with 10 points. And that'll make the score 49-42, Illinois Wesleyan. Titans coming in at 5-2 and looking for their first conference victory. While Carthage comes in at 6-0, 1-0 in the league in their first road game of the season. All 6 have been in Kenosha up until tonight. They're ranked 21st in the country, one of 4 league teams in the CCIW making the top 25. Wallen stick the right elbow jumper from 15 feet.
Now Perry's going to have a hard time getting out up the floor on the smaller players for the Titans, and they're trying to take advantage of that here right now.
Wallen with a 10 on the night. Lob baseline knocked away by Wallen. Nearly knocked it in, but the ball caroms out to Lambesis, and he runs with a 4-on-3. Puts on the brakes over to Yoder. Steps. Finds Lambesis filling the lane, missing the runner. But a foul on the floor against Perry.
Is that against Perry or Johnson? We'll see what the call is.
Yeah, I think it's on Johnson, actually. You were right.
Yeah, that's a big one because that's number 3.
Sean Johnson, that's his third, and keeps second.
Nice job by Lambesis there attacking the basket. He's done a really good job. You got to get into the body of the shot blocker, Eric. That's the key right there. If you can get to the body, it's much, much harder for them to be able to get a hand on that shot. Good job by Peter getting up in the air, creating contact, be able to get that ball up on the glass. Titans got a tipping on the backside anyway if they didn't call the foul, as Charlie Bear did a nice job running the floor. So we talked about some of those matchups really difficult for Illinois Wesleyan, but Carthage has found some difficult matchups as well. First free throw up and around and in for Lambesis.
And that gives him 7 points so far tonight. 6'4" sophomore, averaging nearly 14 points per game in his first year as a starter. Second free throw is good. And that'll make it a 11-point game, biggest of the night here for the Titans. In their alternate gray and green jerseys. Johnson on the right wing kicks it out. Cook. Left side it goes to Kodrowski. Now to Baltimore. Jump step. Bulldozes his way in. Got away with a carry and hits the leaner from about 8 feet.
Yeah, might have been a couple violations right there. I'm not sure he got the ball on the deck to avoid a travel either.
It was almost a LeBron James travel. 53-44. 9-point lead for Wesleyan. Right side, it goes to Wallen. Into the corner to Schumacher. Drives, dishes. Lambesis wide open. Short on the 3. Tipped up and in by Charlie Bear.
Boy, Carthage pounded the Titans at times on the glass in the first half. Just too much quickness going to the glass right there. Not able to get a body for the Redmen. Nice tipping by Bear. He's had a nice start to the half.
Yeah, Bear has 8 points on the night. And the lead is at 11 again, 55-44. Kodrowski right side to Baltimore. Jackknifes it between two defenders. Guides it inside to Johnson. Shovels it back out to Baltimore. Works his way down low. Cradles the basketball. Then into Cook, who reverses for 2.
Baltimore's got an all-around game. Did a nice job getting in the lane right there and dumping it off for the easy bucket. And he's been a thorn in the side of the Titans tonight.
55-46, Wesleyan by 9. Lambesis on the right side. Looks left, goes back to the right, now hands off to Yoder, rolls off a pick, backs up, fakes a 3, hooks it, slides it inside to Bear. Nicely done. A seeing eye pass from Yoder to Bear, who becomes the third Titan in double figures tonight.
Yeah, Luke's had quite a night scoring right there, dropping the dime down there for the easy layup. Let's see if they can slow down number 24 here now.
And they're trading buckets, 57-46. Cook right side, reversing to Baltimore, hand at his face. 3 on the way is nothing but net. He is still red hot with 25 points tonight.
Now they defended him well right there. Tip your cap.
And a whistle as a timeout was called by Illinois Wesleyan. A 30-second timeout with the 16:15 remaining in the second half of the Titans up 57-49. We're sponsored by Anywhere, Anytime Journeys, your place for travel. They will be setting us up for our trip to Austin, Texas later this month. Call Brad at 217-892-2526. It's like having a concierge on call. Anywhere, Anytime Journeys.
Now, Cannon Baltimore has really lit up the Titans tonight as he has carried Carthage offensively throughout the evening. Another three-pointer going down right there, a returning all-conference player for the Redmen. And he's been doing the job for Carthage since his freshman year. He's really had a terrific year up in Kenosha, a terrific career up in Kenosha. And he has a thorn in the side of the Titans, not just tonight, but in previous games as well. But having one of his better games here this evening.
57-49, Wesleyan with the ball off the inbound. It comes to Doug Wallen, tries to get the hand off to Yoder, but Kodrowski denies, so Wallen plays the point guard, backs down into the paint, fades from 13, and couldn't get it to fall. Perry has the rebound for the Redmen.
Yeah, it's a tough look over the top of the 6'11 junior right there. Just couldn't quite get it to go down.
Now Kodrowski will weave. The handoff goes to Johnson. Dangerous pass. Perry finds it. Lobs in the corner to Cook. Cook dribbles out to the wing, guarded by Yoder. 12 to shoot. Takes off on Yoder. Bumped him. Lobs into the corner. Kedrowski pulls it down. 7 to shoot. Inside. Loosely thrown. Knocked away from Johnson. The steal by Wallen over the outlet to Schumacher. Schumacher shovels off to Wallen. Fills the lane. Lays it in for 2.
Yeah, nice job that time and great passing by the Titans. Boy, you talk about getting the ball down the floor, but I really liked what they did on the man-to-man defense on the last time down. They will drop back into the zone right here.
Wallen now with a dozen. The lead back at 10, 59-49. Perry baseline, draws the double, tees it up for Kedrowski. His 3 is rattling out, and Bear pulls down the miss.
So he got a good look at that three-point shot straight on, and that ball was halfway down and came out.
10-point lead for Wesleyan. No baseline. Yoder had it blocked by Perry, picked up though by Bear. He couldn't finish. Baltimore comes away with it. It's a 2-on-4. They surround him, but he takes it in and draws the foul against Bear.
And that's when Charlie's got to finish on the other end. Boy, that's point blank right at the basket. And a great opportunity for the Titans to extend out to a 12-point lead. Baltimore back the other direction. It certainly has been a high possession game here at the Shirk Center so far tonight. And both teams getting up and down the floor. Well, you look at the shot attempts. Illinois Wesleyan 47 shot attempts already. Carthage at 41. As the first free throw for Baltimore is good. The Titans shooting it much better tonight at 53% from the floor. As Carthage is 6 out of 17 from the three-point line. You take Keenan Baltimore out, and really nobody has shot it well for the Redmen. He has really carried them behind that three-point line and also scoring tonight as well.
Yeah, he's 6 for 8, so no one else has made one for Carthage. They've been a decent three-point shooting team, but their best shooting has been under the arc this year with their 2 bigs primarily. And Baltimore now with 27 points, a lead at 8. As the ball's tipped away, but Wallen chases it down. Wesleyan up 59-51. Wallen with a crossover on Johnson. Gives it back out to Schumacher. One hands the ball into the corner to Yoder. Dribble driver to the paint. Pulls up. 8-footer, no good. Perry yanks down the miss for Carthage.
Now Luke did a nice job there creating a little bit of space. Titans might be going makes and misses. On misses, you're in man. On makes, you're in that 2-3 zone trying to change things up against the Redmen.
Bear, by the way, got his 3rd foul on that Baltimore shot. Now inside to Perry for 2 as he moves in over O'Neal. And Perry now with a dozen. The lead down to 6, 59-53.
Yeah, just methodically powers his way towards the basket. Well done.
Yoder sets up, playing for the injured Grant Wolf. They hope to have him back next Sunday at Augustana. Left side it goes to Lambesis, backing down into the paint. 8-footer, yes.
The Titans have hit some tough shots against this defense. Saw Doug Wallen hit some nice spinning shots there. Peter Lambesis able to create space, extend over the top of the defender, and put it home.
4th Titan at double figures, knocked away by Wallen. He gets to the steal, has 2 trailers, takes it in right of the lane, takes it up himself for 2.
That nice job by Doug right there. Got that angle, and here comes Carthage back the other way.
It's a 2-on-1 with the bigs. Perry from Johnson, and he flipped it in, electing not to dunk it, although it may have slipped out of his hand.
I think he lost it on the way up. He was fortunate that ball went in.
14 for Perry, 63-55 Wesleyan. Right elbow, O'Neal, 15-footer, high-arcing shot, no good. Johnson pulls down the miss for the Redmen.
A golden opportunity there for the Titans to extend back to a double-digit lead. This one's going to go back and forth and probably be right down to the wire.
Baltimore against the double to Johnson. Titans trying to hand the Redmen their first loss of the season. Dribbling baseline, Kedrowski kicks it out to an open Poglaze, and his 3 rattles out. Tipped by Johnson, but Wallen collects the bound for Wesleyan. Out to Lambesis. Carthage gets back, so Lambesis weaves through traffic and backs it up. Titans up by 8. Off a screen, Lambesis left of the lane, draws the double, floats back out to Yoder. Off a pick, pulls up, floats a 15-footer and hits.
Nice job by Alex O'Neal, setting a couple of high screens right there, just getting in the way. And boy, Luke Yoder has had a terrific night. And again, on the make, Titans back into that 2-2-1, back to the 2-3. I think you got some tired boys out there right now in gray. A couple subs ready to come in for Illinois Wesleyan.
Yoder has 15 on the night as the Titans lead by 10. Kedrowski has it open 3, and he hits. That's the first one by someone other than Baltimore. And Kedrowski brings the lead down to 7.
Let's see if Coach Rose will burn one right here. He's going to. Boy, he's got some tired guys on the floor.
So we come to a timeout with a 12-12 to go, and the Titans up 65-58. We'll take a 30-second timeout. This is Titan basketball on Classic Rock 98.3 WEXG, Rock in the Heartland. But the Titans never led in their loss to Wheaton on Wednesday night rather. And tonight they have not trailed. Up now 65-58 with 12-12 to go in the second half. In other league play, Wheaton crushed Milliken 86-53 as the Thunder moved to 2-0 on the season. Augustana up over Carroll 30-23 at halftime in Rock Island. And North Park down to North Central 42-27 to the intermission as they play at the Cracker Box. And it will be Lambesis to inbound in front of the Wesleyan bench. Gets it in play to Mitchell. Mitchell threads it back to Yoder as he has to grab it against the lunging defense of Jordan Kodrowski. O'Neal with a handoff to Yoder to give it go back to Alex inside. Double clutches, missed it, but follows it up for two.
Yeah, good job by Alex staying with it right there. He's got that speed on the backside. He can be tough to handle in there with his athleticism. The Titans extend back to 9. And again, on that make, going into the 2-3 zone.
5 for O'Neal. The lob coming from Balatovich, but it hit the rim going for Johnson. Pass battled down by Kodrowski, but recovered by the Titans. Yoder finds Lambesis. Left elbow jumper no good. Johnson rebounds for Carthage.
Peter's not going to miss that one very often. But that's about a 10-footer, absolutely wide open. I think he might have been surprised how open he was.
67-58. Julatovich with a dribble drive over 2 defenders, and he guides it through.
Tough drive that time. Titans did a nice job of cutting it off. Oh boy, chance to extend to 11. Now it's back to 7 there once again.
At 67-60, Yoder chest pass baseline, no open. 12-footer, no. Johnson collects the bound for Carthage.
Does a good job getting that shot off quickly. Just hit the heel of the rim right there.
Kodrowski is blowing past his man, and he powers it up and in on the baseline. Kodrowski now with 7, and the lead down to 5.
Yeah, Carthage has hit a couple of tough shots here the last couple times down. Alex O'Neal did a great job defending the basket and walling off right there.
67-62, Wesleyan on top, dribbling baseline as No kicks it out to a wide open Mitchell. His 3 is long, tipped by O'Neal, but it's corralled by Johnson.
Well, Carthage has knocked down some tough shots the last couple times down. The Titans have missed some really good opportunities to extend the lead. Really good looks at the basket.
Carthage winning the battle with the boards, and that's helped keep them in it. Down by 5, a screen for Kodrowski. His 3 is good, and Jordan Kodrowski has found the hot hand, now with 8 points in rapid fashion, and that has brought the Redmen within 2 at 67-65, and Ron Rose takes a timeout with 10-12 to go. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Classic Rock 98.3 WEXG. Rock in the Heartland. Titans lead 67-65 with 10-12 to go, and Carthage, one of the most prolific offenses we've seen this year, scoring 94 points per game coming in, so we knew they were not out of it, and they have been able to catch up here in a hurry.
Yeah, they certainly have, and they've hit some difficult shots, and I thought the Titans just got some terrific looks at the basket. Lambesis missed a 10-footer. Corey No got a nice 10-footer on the baseline, wide open. Cody Mitchell had a wide open 3, and none of those shots going down. The Titans have missed some golden opportunities here the last 3 or 4 possessions. And Carthage has taken advantage of it, now cutting this lead to 2. But Kodrowski, we know he can score, coming in averaging about 18 points a game. He can put the ball in the basket. Gotten off to a slow start tonight. Baltimore had really carried them through the first half of the contest. Now he gets going here in this stretch.
No inbounds to Lambesis with Wallen, Schumacher, and Bear on the floor. No shovels off to Schumacher. Looks for a screen, works to the left, covered by Johnson on the switch. Now they get a mismatch down low if they can find Bear. Instead, the reverse goes to Wallen into the corner for 3, and he hits.
Boy, nice looking shot right there by Doug Wallen. Titans have shot the ball well tonight. Probably going to need every single one of them here to outscore Carthage here at the Shirk.
65 rather. Titans up by 5, 17 for Wallen tonight. Poglace fakes a pass, takes a 3 and misses. Karams into the corner, chased down by Keandre Schumacher. Pedals into heavy traffic, spots Wallen, same spot. 3 more for Doug Wallen.
Back-to-back triples coming out of that timeout. Well, you couldn't ask for anything better than that. Doug Wallen firing them home, and now the Titans extend back to 8.
73-65, and just like that, Bosko Jurikovic wants a timeout as the Titans get back-to-back threes by Doug Wallen, and they take a 73-65 lead. Well, Doug's scoring just under 10 points per game this year, and if they can get him to where he was in many key moments last year, it's going to make this Titan offense a real powerhouse.
Yeah, it certainly will, and I think it's just a matter of time for Doug Wallen, obviously finding that stroke here over the last couple of minutes, but also finding that mid-range game, and for Illinois Wesleyan as well, just trying to figure out how all these pieces go together. Sometimes you forget, Eric, it's December 7th. I mean, sometimes you forget it's still very early in the season. You're playing these big conference games early on, and the young team just trying to figure out how all the pieces are going to fit together here. So this is only game number 8 for Illinois Wesleyan, and still trying to figure some things out, and Doug a part of that equation.
As Baltimore inbounds for the Redmen, and the Titans go back to the zone. As Kudrowski backs it up on the left side, chest pass to Poglaze. Holds the rock, puts it on the floor, bounces it over to Baltimore. Baltimore kicks the ball into the corner, 3 on the way, no good by Kudrowski. And Bear gets the rebound, sneaks it out to Wallen. And he'll find Corey No, the point guard, to bring it up.
That's the first time we saw them go 2-3, coming out of the timeout, and they switched into man halfway through the possession. Hadn't seen that so far tonight.
Schumacher now baseline. Lambesis blows past his man and lays it in.
It's 8 in a row now for the Titans. They called that timeout. It was 67-65. We'll see if the Titans can keep this push going.
Now it's back up to 10. Baltimore knifing through traffic, and it's an offensive foul on Keenan Baltimore.
That was on Baltimore that time. I'll tell you the truth, Eric, I'm not exactly sure what the call was there. Said he hit him with his hip.
I couldn't tell. The official had his back to us.
Yeah, I don't know about that
as he indicated the call.
Yeah, Titans got a break right there. That's a tough call.
Might have been an elbow. But Baltimore also was to our back. We have the same view that those of you on the IWSports.com video have. Wallen in the corner. Titans are up by 10. 11 is their biggest margin tonight. Lambesis left side. Chest pass, it goes to Schumacher. Swings it out wide right to No. No with a step. Looking. Covered by Bulatovic, well covered, gets rid of it in time to Bear. 3 to shoot, Bear wheels in, good if it goes, blocked by Johnson out of bounds, and it'll be a shot clock violation.
A nice job by Carthage right there, really locking down on the Titans. And we'll see if Illinois Wesleyan will show a little bit of that 2-2-1 full court, and they will. It's been all token pressure so far. Really haven't forced any turnovers out of it, but making Carthage work the ball up the floor a little bit, taking a little bit of time off that shot clock, and you got to find 24.
Baltimore covered on the right wing. Kudrowski instead goes to Best inside to Bulatovic, stumbles as he falls down and puts up a, well, doesn't quite fall down, but he turns and puts up an off-balance shot. That was long, and the Titans get the rebound back the other way. Johnson gets the rejection of the dribble drive by Schumacher as he sent that ball into the first row, right into the lap of Volk coach Dennis Martell with the nice recovery.
Yeah, he got a good look at that one right there. Boy, Johnson just taking that ball and throwing it out of bounds. Still Titan basketball, though.
The lob into Bear with a tough catch, couldn't corral it. Chased down though by Schumacher, taps it over to Wallen. His 3 is short. Wallen gets it back, draws the double, hooks it out to Yoder. Yoder will reset the offense. With the Titans up by 10. Yoder dribbles to the left, cuts back to the right, wheeling right of the layup. Layup blocked by Johnson. Now that'll be a foul. And I believe if that's on Sean Johnson, that'll be number 4.
I don't think that one was on Johnson right there.
It was on TJ Best, and that'll be his 3rd.
Yeah, Best picking up the foul. Boy, how good has Luke Yoder been tonight? Boy, he has really played well for Illinois Wesleyan.
Carthage calls time, but the Titans up by 10, 7:23 to go. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on Classic Rock 98.3 WEXG, Rock in the Heartland. Titans lead by 10 as they prepare for a couple of free throws. Carthage has blocked 7 shots tonight, and they average 8 per game. Sean Johnson has 5. Brad Perry has 2 rejections. As Luke Yoder prepares to shoot a pair of free throws to try to extend this 10-point lead. The Titans still shooting 51% from the floor, and Carthage at 49%. Fast Stats sponsored by Crabtree Financial as Yoder makes the first of 2.
The Titans have a chance to get their largest lead of the contest here. It's been 11 so far, and we'll see if Luke can stretch it to 12 here.
He has a career best 16 points, has one more coming, and knocks that one through. And the freshman from Central Catholic elevates the lead to a dozen.
The Titans just 2 turnovers so far here in the ball game. That is an outstanding number.
They lead by 12. Baltimore heaves a long 3 and a foul on Yoder as he just got a part of the hand on that 3-point attempt. And that'll be 3 free throws for Keenan Baltimore.
Yeah, you'd like to say don't foul the 3-point shooter, but I really can't blame Luke the way Keenan has shot the ball so far in this game, just trying to get up on him and do something different. Just happened to get a little bit of the hand right there.
And Baltimore gets the bounce on the first. Baltimore, 72% free throw shooter, now has 28 points tonight, including 6 3-point baskets. And he has a chance to bring this lead down to 9 if he gets all 3. Now 2 for 2.
He came in shooting 45% from the 3-point line. Those numbers are going to go up tremendously after tonight. 9 out of 20 coming in. And he has just shot lights out this evening.
He was already among the top 10 of the league, and now with 3 free throws, that's as good as a 3-point basket. And the lead down to 9 at 77-68. Wall in between the rings, swings to the left side to Schumacher. Stares down his man, comes off a screen by Bear. Bear at the top, cuts back to the left. Schumacher for 3, off the heel, no. Kudrowski with the rebound, one hands the pass over to Johnson. Big man runs with it, hands back to Kudrowski. Under 7 minutes to go. Baltimore extends with a jump step. The Euro steps, flips it up, no good, but the tip in goes for Bulatovich.
Nice job by Bulatovich that time, getting in there, using those long arms to tip that one back in. Titans had extended to 12. And Carthage gets the next 5 back.
There's been a lot of seesaw here in this second half. Shovel off to Lambesis from Schumacher. Lambesis over the drive of the dish. DeWallen pulls up, right elbow, rimming no. Tip, Bear the rebound, Bear the putback, and Bear the foul. That is on Sean Johnson. And the big man just picked up his 4th personal.
Nice job by Charlie right there. Boy, just wedging out that space on that backside. Knew it was coming off weak side on the rebound. Did a good job of moving Johnson out with that weak side position. Grabbing that basketball and drawing the foul on the big guy.
Bear in double figures with 10 points, and the first free throw, boy, hits off the back iron and dropped through. The shooter's bounce, those soft shark center rims, working to Bear's favor.
Is that a shooter's bounce right there, Eric? That one just died.
Yeah, it didn't really bounce. That's just how soft the rims are here at Shark Center. The rim caught it. And that's 12 for Bear, and the Titan lead is at 9.
Well, anyway, both of them went down for Charlie, and the Titans will take it.
Now it's Baltimore against the zone inside. Jump step, Bulatovich had it tipped away by Bear, and Bear gets to the recovery, and then got fouled by Bulatovich. And the freshman gets his first foul, and that's number 6 on Carthage.
Yeah, Bosco not happy with that call right there. I think he felt like his guy got fouled going to the basket. And then picking up the foul on the other end. Now the Titans, every possession will be critical here down the stretch. Getting down to that 6-minute mark here. Chance to win a big one at home. We'll see if the Titans can execute down the stretch.
As Yoder brings it up. Titans only have one more home game here in the month of December before conference play returns, and Schumacher threw it away as Bear was backing down, trying to get a spot of the post, and the ball thrown wide to his right.
Yeah, trying to lead him to step out off that post area. Led him a little bit too far, and a costly turnover.
Token pressure by the Titans. Right elbow. Bulatovich kicks it out. Kudrowski has an open 3, and he hits. Jordan Kudrowski with 13, and Carthage back within 6.
We'll see how long the Titans can stay in that 2-3 zone. They're going to have to man up the rest of the game.
79-73. Wallen over the right side. Hand off to Yoder, and Kudrowski call for the fouls to try to fight through the Wallen screen. And Kudrowski gets his first foul, team's 7th. So the Titans have a 1 bonus coming up. And it will be Luke Yoder, who is 2 for 2 at the line tonight. And 11 of 12 so far in his freshman campaign. As he gets ready for the first, it's on the way and good. He now has 18 on the night.
A couple homegrown products on the backcourt for the Titans. Schumacher and also Yoder, Central Catholic and U-High, good to see. They've played a lot of games here at the Shirk Center.
The Titans are 10 for 12 at the line, and tack on one more for Luke Yoder with 19 points. Now Schumacher comes out of the game, and Matt Leyritz is back in. 81-73 Wesleyan with a 5.5 to go. Ball nearly thrown away in the backcourt, but Best able to retrieve it.
Titans will get a little more size out there on the perimeter now with No in that 2-3, a little bit more length.
Bialotovich kicks it out to an open Best. His 3 is long. Tip Leyritz to get a hand on it. Kept it alive for Lambesis, who gets the rebound. Yoder into the front court.
Just got to find Baltimore and Kudrowski out of that zone. The rest of the guys having a hard time knocking him down.
Leyritz on the baseline, backing down on Kudrowski. And a travel, yep. Lost his footing as he tried to set up on the low post.
That's going to take Matt a little while to get back in the swing of things again. Game competition, game shape, all that stuff, but he'll get there, and he's going to really be a key contributor.
Best kicked it, No picked it up. Turnover for the Titans with under 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, lost it right off his foot.
Wesleyan up by 8. Pass to the right to Wallen. Right side to No. Make that to Yoder with a no-look baseline. Leyritz had a block, though, by Johnson. That's his 6th. With the outlet to Best. Races down court, missed the layup. And Lambesis forced him to rush it, and he missed it. No back the other way, comes to Yoder. Titans in no hurry. Yoder flips it back out to Lambesis. And the Titans will work the clock up by 8. Lambesis on the right side off a screen by Leyritz. Dribbles left of the lane, powers it up. No, tip by Leyritz. It's loose, recovered by Wallen, and he keeps it alive. Yoder for 3. Got it!
Yeah, nice job by Doug kicking it out. I thought for a second they were going to pick up that 5th foul on Johnson. A lot of contact going to the basket, but it worked out okay for the Titans, now with an 11-point lead.
22 for Yoder, and he pokes it away and forces the steal. Now to No, puts on the brakes, goes to Wallen, and heavy traffic, and out of the commotion, the Titans turn it over. Titans were pressing the issue maybe a little more than the Titan coaches would have preferred. They might have had a breakaway had they executed it, but had a hard time keeping control of the ball.
And Doug tried to throw it across 3 passing lanes right there. If he just would have pivoted and dribbled the other direction, he had a ton of room on the backside. Easier to say all the way up here watching the whole floor than down in the middle of the action. But let's see if the Titans go with that 2-3 zone. And they're going to extend things just a little bit here. A little 1-2-2 from Illinois Wesleyan.
Inside Bialotovich draws the double. Gets it off to Johnson, who hammers it home and draws the foul.
Well, they were having a hard time matching up with Kudrowski up top. So they switched up their zone into a 1-2-2, try to get a player up high to be able to at least get a contest on number 21. Carthage did a great job. They went right to the high post area, broke it down to the shore corner. Johnson did the rest from there.
And Johnson's free throw is no good. Wallen pulls down the rebound, and the Titans lead by 9. 8 points for Johnson tonight.
A strong rebound by Doug on that possession.
Now Schumacher comes cutting across on the baseline. If ball goes to Bear. Now Keandre moving again. It's No on the right wing, guarded by Baltimore. Tees it up for Schumacher. Chest pass left side to Yoder. 9 to shoot. Titans up by 9. Yoder left side for Wallen. Wallen over the step baseline, draws the double, threw it away right in front of the Titan bench as he tried to set up Schumacher in the corner.
Yeah, Doug Wallen's had some tough plays here down the stretch. Couple of turnovers. Just nowhere to go on the baseline. Boy, Carthage had that hemmed in. They had a guy out in the corner as well. Well defended that time by the Redmen. As Lambesis is going to come back in. And you can tell right now, Coach Rose just trying to get as big as he possibly can on the defensive end. He's trying to get Corey out there with Luke and also with Peter, because they just give you a lot more length on the zone and make it a lot harder for Carthage to be able to see over the top and attack it.
9-point Carthage lead, a deficit rather. The Titans are up, and Kodrowski's three is no good. Johnson gets the rebound. Johnson puts it back up to do the foul on Bear. Bear had his arms straight up into the air, but ref said he got some body in on it too.
They called him for a push. I'm not sure how he pushed him with those arms straight up in the air that time. Johnson will go to the line. Tough break that time for the Titans. And again, when you go zone, it'll be difficult to rebound out of it.
4 fouls on Bear. Johnson at the line. The first is good. He's just 3 for 8 at the line this season. Now has 9 points.
It seems like the Titans multiple times have been on the verge of shaking Carthage here this evening and just haven't been able to do it. That's the track record of a good, experienced team coming down from Kenosha.
Johnson long on the second, and a foul against Carthage on the rebound.
No, it's a lane violation against Illinois Wesleyan. It looked like Luke Yoder was in just a little bit early that time for the Titans. Another mistake right there for Illinois Wesleyan. A couple turnovers here the last minute and a half or so, and they're giving them another opportunity at the line.
And Johnson capitalizes on it, and he gets his 10th point. Third Redmond player, fourth Redmond player in double figures as we come to a timeout with 3:05 to go. A full timeout taken by Carthage, and it's 84-77 Illinois Wesleyan holding on.
Yeah, Eric, these are the games that make you nervous, right? We've seen a lot of these from the Titans on the verge of kind of taking control of the contest, not able to do it, letting the opponent kind of hang around at the end of the game. We'll see if the Titans can close this one out here this evening and pick up that big conference victory. And right now, we've talked about this in previous games. Last year, you pretty much knew who was going to have the basketball in this situation. This team's still figuring that out. And we'll see who's going to get the basketball here and make the big play. Coach Rose has kind of discussed this, and with this group right here, it's going to be offense as usual. Move the basketball, see who has the best look. And now Carthage is going to set up full court, man-to-man pressure here. They're going to face guard everybody, and they're going to guard the inbounder as well.
Doug Wallen is the inbound man with Bulatovich guarding him. He runs the ball on the inline, gets it in play to know he's double teamed, tries to fight his way out of it, and he took a hand to the forehead by Krishawn Cook just as they got the outlet to Yoder.
I think here for Carthage, you're okay with that. You got a great trap. You put the ball exactly where you want it. I mean, right there, you got a man on the ball. As soon as it goes in, he's going to trap that first pass. And you got the basketball right where you wanted it. You want to extend the game, so I don't know if you mind putting guys on the line here. It's just a 1-and-1 right now for the Titans.
No is 5 for 5 at the line this season. Hits the front end for his 4th point tonight.
Well, he looked awfully confident on that stroke right there.
And he has 4 points tonight. One more on the way, and got it. 86-77, no checks out. Schumacher back in.
They're probably going to go man-to-man here. And they do, as really the three-pointer is the thing that could probably really beat you the quickest. So they're going to man up. Try to take Carthage off that three-point line as much as possible.
Wallen face guarding Baltimore, forcing him into the paint, jump step, and hits the floater for 2. 32 for Baltimore, the lead back down to 7 for the Titans.
He gets away with a lot of extra steps out there, and there has not been a whistle yet.
Now it's Lambesis on the left side. Doubled for a moment, now has to get rid of it. Just in time, it comes to Yoder, flips it over to Lambesis. Cross courts the ball to Wallen, into the corner. It's Schumacher. They play keep away, looking to nurse that clock down to 7 seconds. At 6, and a foul. Not what Carthage wanted. That deep into the shot clock. The foul goes against Bulatovich. Going to be a 1 bonus for Peter Lambesis.
The Titans will be in the double bonus here on the next foul as well. Let's see if the Titans can be rock solid down the stretch. You got to think they're going to stick with that man-to-man defense, though.
Front end of a 1 bonus. No good, but tipped out by Baltimore, and the Titans will get it back.
20 seconds on the shot clock here for Illinois Wesleyan. That one was around and out there for Peter Lambesis. Might have worked out really well for the Titans, though, as they get the ball back.
2:17 to go, the inbound to Schumacher. Head fake at a shot. He gives it back to Bear. Bear returns to Schumacher. Out on top, guarded by Cook. Bouncing the ball between the legs. Approaching 2 minutes. Now he takes off to the goal behind the bucket, flips it into Lambesis in the paint, sends it back out. Yoder at 5, at 4. Yoder crosses over, off a pick, goes baseline, cut off, and was held, and another foul with a shot clock winding down, and that's against Krishawn Cook as he runs to the other end of the floor in frustration, perhaps biting his lip as he makes it the other way. And the Titans have burned a lot of key time in this final few minutes, trying to preserve this lead.
Yeah, Luke Yoder was in no man's land right there as a first free throw up and good that time for the freshman. He had nowhere to go with that pass. Boy, Carthage really bailed them out. And they got to think defensively right now here for the Titans. If you can keep the ball away from Kudrowski and also from Baltimore, make somebody else beat you out there, you got to think they're going to go man-to-man with their best defenders.
Fourth foul on Cook, and Yoder gets both free throws now with 24 points. And now no returns for Schumacher with 1:57 to go.
Looks
Titans
like
up 9.
Looks like they are going to match up. Got to think Doug Wallen will be on Baltimore. Let's see if Doug can deny him the basketball. You just don't want to see 24 with the rock at all.
88-79. Left side, Kudrowski guarded by Yoder. Hand check on Luke. And that's the 7th team foul on Illinois Wesleyan, the first on Yoder.
That's a tough one right there. You really want to get up on him, take away that three-point shot. He puts it on the deck. You put a hand on him. And the one thing you don't want to do is stop that clock. You want to keep it moving. Well, they put you in a tough situation. And we'll see if they catch a break right here, and Kudrowski misses the front end.
He has 13 points, all but 2 in the second half, keeping Carthage in it. First one is good.
Yeah, he's been really good in the second half. Well, you talk about a couple of guys that have really carried him. It's been Keenan Baltimore and also Kudrowski, who have done the job for Carthage here tonight. Baltimore with 32. And Kudrowski getting it going in the second half.
74% free throw shooter, sinks both. And he is 15 tonight. 88-81 Wesleyan.
And they got 12 and 14 out of their two big guys, Perry and Johnson. 4 guys in double figures and 8 from the rest of the team. And they got 81 on the board.
1:48 to go. Wallen will lob with the ball in play. Schumacher pulls it down, gets it into Lambesis with a 2-on-1, now 3-on-1, but they're going to burn the clock instead wisely. Now it goes out to Yoder near midcourt. They're going to trap Yoder near midcourt. He gets away from it. Baseline to Lambesis. Has a seam, and he drops it in for 2.
Well, you got to take it if they're going to give it to you. And he already burned enough time off the floor. Let's see if Doug can keep Baltimore out of the lane.
14 for Lambesis. The 3 is good for Keenan Baltimore. Now 35 points for the senior from Zion Benton. And he is single-handedly keeping Carthage in it as the lead is back down to 6 at 90-84 with 1:20 to go.
Yeah, Eric, I'm not sure how you defend that right there.
Yeah.
Step back, three-pointer. I mean, you do the best you can. He's just had an extraordinary night. And he's 7 for 9 from the three-point line. Now, he's a good three-point shooter. There's no doubt about that. But he's certainly shooting the ball off the charts here this evening.
And it's not like they're leaving him open either.
I totally agree. I mean, there were some times in the first half where they did not rotate to him in the zone. He got some great looks and knocked him down. And he built some confidence early on. And it certainly has carried on the rest of the game. But Doug did a nice job having a hand in his face. We saw Luke Yoder the one time get really on him. He fouled him. That put him to the line for 3 free throws. They just had a hard time handling him all night long. So if you're Carthage right here, I think you're going to go full court. You're going to face guard the Titans. I think you got to get one good trap. There's still a lot of time left in this game. Now, you can give a foul right away and extend it as much as possible, but there's still a tremendous amount of time. Get one good trap, maybe even 2 with 1:20 to go here in the ball game.
Yeah, it's a 2-possession game, and they trap Schumacher. Ball kicked away. Schumacher recovers it. He got the timeout.
Good job.
Yeah, just before Cook took it away. Of course, the Titans have been successful in burning lots of the shot clock before Carthage ends up fouling them. Now there was a timeout that's going to be a full timeout called by the Titans. They did not clarify initially, and Bosco Jurakovic was out on the floor, and some of the Titan fans were imploring for a technical foul to be called against Bosco.
He's been pretty relaxed here so far this evening.
by his standard.
Yep. And Schumacher, was down on the floor in the corner. He called timeout.
Sure.
I mean, it was a clear call. The official was right on top of the play, and Keandre did a nice job. And the Titans still have 2 timeouts. You can't go home with them. At this point right now, you're communicating in the huddle. If you get yourself in trouble, hey, boys, we're going to burn it. Burn that timeout right there because we want the possession. That's the most important part. The possession is so critical here with 1:16 to go in the game. Now, if you got 1 timeout, that's a totally different story. But when you have 2, you can afford to burn 1, and we'll see what the Titans are going to do here down the stretch.
The Titans will have the length of the floor to go. 27 seconds on the shot clock, and Baltimore still pleading its case. I think maybe they were trying to argue that part of Schumacher's body was out of bounds, or maybe that one of the Redmond players had part possession of the ball.
Yeah, the official was right there, so he had a great look. Boy, look at where they have to throw the ball in. You talk about a tough place to inbound the basketball. Anytime you're going towards where the baseline and sideline meet, it gets really difficult, especially when you got a 6'11 guy with long arms standing right there.
Yeah, Johnson is trying to hassle him, but he gets it in play to Lambesis. Lambesis is doubled, tripled, and gets rid of it to Wallen over the outlet. Deep pass, Bear. What faked to pass to Yoder. That might have been batted down had he released it. And then he ends up drawing the foul against T.J. Best.
It's a good foul by Carthage. Yeah, good foul, I think, there by Carthage. I think if you're going to choose right now of all the Titan players, Charlie's the guy you want to put at the line. So I think they got the guy they wanted right there. Let's see if Charlie can step up here and knock him down.
And he's 71% on the season. The first one is up and rattles home.
There you go. Nice job putting it home. Let's see if Coach Rose will sub Corey No into the game here. Yep, there he comes off the bench right there. Again, playing that offensive-defensive substitution game.
Bears second try, no good. But Wallen tips it a lot to keep it alive, and Schumacher unable to run it down as it goes out of bounds. So it'll be Carthage ball 91-84 with 1:06 left. But that free throw does make it a 3-possession game as the inbound comes to Cook. And he'll bring it up against man-to-man defense. Takes off against No. Hard to the glass. Blocked by Bear. And recovered by No. No is doubled. He's in a boatload of trouble. Now Bear was scrambling to call timeout, but I think they fouled him before that. And Doug Wallen is imploring his teammates to just get away, get away. Tensions are rising, especially in front of that Carthage bench.
Yeah, Sean Cook picked up a technical foul, I do believe, here. It was either here or Baltimore, but I do believe it was Cook that picked up the technical foul.
Well, you like to see that, though, from the upperclassmen or Doug Wallen. You know, you got some younger guys out there. Don't engage in something that's going to end up nullifying the advantage that you just picked up in a situation like this.
Yeah, especially when you have a 7-point lead.
Exactly. So the technical foul on Cook.
Now let's see now if the Titans can put the game away here. Well, the young guys and the young guards have really stepped up in this game for the Titans, especially Luke Yoder. You talk about, Grant Wolf on the sideline with the concussion protocol right now. And, boy, Luke has just been huge for Illinois Wesleyan. And a game that they really needed to get, and hopefully they can hang on. Let's see if Corey can knock down a couple free throws.
And the first one is good. No now has 6 points. The foul was on to Kudrowski and the technical on Cook, and that fouls him out of the game. Their starting point guard exits with 2 points. No second free throw rimming out. But the Titans will have a couple more free throws here with a 92-84 lead and 57 seconds on the clock.
It'd be interesting if somebody ever ran a stat of free throw percentage with technicals with nobody at the line with you. What the percentage is, does it drop? It seems like those are always hard ones to make out there. It's just a different flow to everything going on.
And you shouldn't be penalizing the team shooting them after the other team got the technical. No, missed the free throw.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it. No one's there to rebound. No one needs to rebound. And No missed the first shot, has one more. He's made 1 out of 3 in this trip, and he gets the last one to fall. And that'll make it a 93-84 lead.
You got to think they're going man-to-man right here. Match up. Just don't let the three-pointer kill you. If guy takes it to the basket, just don't foul him. It's the three-point shot right now that gets Carthage back in the game.
Kudrowski rolling off the screen, hooks it out to Baltimore, moving it on Wallen. Puts up another difficult shot and answers it again. Another 3 for Baltimore, his 8th of the night. And it's still a 6-point game. 46 seconds to go. The inbound to Schumacher with a quick spin move. Out of trouble. Runs into trouble again. And he got tied up. A jump ball as he got sandwiched in by Bulatovich in Baltimore. It goes back to the Redmen with 42 seconds to go. It's still a 2-possession game.
Yeah, it certainly is. Still very much a ball game. Boy, Keandre dribbled right into trouble that time. And now again, you got to force Carthage off the three-point line. I talked about it a second ago. In a 3-possession game when you're up 9, it's the 3-point shot that gets the other team back in the game.
Kudrowski kicks the ball into the corner. Bulatovich moves inside. Blocking foul called on Bear, and he has fouled out. Bulatovich, the freshman, will go to the line as they settle for the 2-point attempt with 35.7 seconds left.
And you don't like it, but at least he did not give up the 3-point shot right there. Charlie done for the night. And let's see where he's going to go. He's going to go with Matt Leyritz here, as he's thinking, he's going to go with Corey No off the bench. So Coach Rose is going to go small down the stretch. That means Doug Wallen really becomes your biggest player on the floor. Right now for the Titans, it's all about spreading the floor and knocking down free throws and not dribbling yourself into any trouble. Charlie had a nice night. Did all the dirty work again for the Titans underneath.
Leaves with 13 points. Bulatovich misses the first of 2 free throws.
So here's the hard part right now, Eric. On a missed free throw, you got to keep Johnson off the board. You don't have a whole lot of size out there for the Titans. This could be a hard rebound to clear if he misses it.
Bulatovich puts up the second one. It's good. And that'll make it a 5-point game at 93-88. Yoder racing through traffic and knocked away. Yoder had it taken by Best. 28 seconds to go. Titans up by 5. The draw by Baltimore. Slashing into the paint and scores and draws the foul. As Baltimore takes it coast to coast with his 40th point of the night and a chance for one more that would make it a 2-point game with 25 seconds left.
Yeah, that amazing drive that time by Keenan Baltimore. It has been his night. He's been everywhere, knocking down threes. I remember this was a 93-84 game. He knocked down a 3 to get it to 6, and they've just kept on coming. Give Carthage a tremendous amount of credit.
And the extra point for Baltimore, and he connects to make it a 2-point game. 24.6 left. The inbound to Schumacher. Shot clock is off. They got to get it across half court. The double down on Yoder at the backcourt, flips the ball ahead, and a foul just as they got it ahead to Wallen into the front court. So they would have cleared it, so that worked out well for Carthage as the foul goes against TJ Best, his 4th. Titans in the double bonus, and the freshman Luke Yoder will step to the line for 2.
Well, Carthage done a great job extending this game. Even if Luke knocks down both free throws here, you get the ball back up the floor, get a quick 2. You don't necessarily have to have a 3. It's going to depend on the situation here. Right now, Illinois Wesleyan desperately does not want to foul. Sometimes you can get that quick 2 on that offensive end. Boy, you can just feel the tension here in the Shirk Center right now.
Luke Yoder stepping to the line, 6 for 6 at the stripe tonight, and he makes the first.
Now, right now, you got to face guard Baltimore, and you got to keep Kudrowski away from the basket. Make somebody else beat you here, but you got to keep the ball out of Baltimore's hands.
Big 3 throw for Yoder, but he knocks it down again. Well, the freshman calmly draining 2 critical free throws. And we don't want to overstate this, only the second game of the season in conference play and only the 8th of the year, but this is a big game for Illinois Wesleyan as they try to avoid an 0-2 start with their first 2 conference games at home, and that gives them a 4-point lead with just under 19 seconds left.
Yeah, and also it's a big game for Carthage. You got a chance to steal one on the road, especially coming to Bloomington and getting one early in the season. So it's only December 7th, but things are heating up in the CCIW. Let's get you caught up a couple other games. Boy, Carroll giving Augustana a struggle still, 52-45, 7:55 to go in that ball game. Augustana has a 7-point lead over Carroll, so the Pioneers trying to stick around there. North Central has a 24-point lead now over North Park, 1:12 to go, so North Central is going to pick up their first conference win of the year. And Eric, it looks like, one of those years we saw Augustana kind of run away with the conference a year ago. Well, it's going to be a league of parity, it looks like, and everybody's going to get their shot here from top to bottom. We could see a lot of games like what we're seeing tonight.
Yeah, Wheaton beat Milliken earlier, so the Thunder, the first team to 2-0. Elmhurst is idle tonight. They're still perfect on the season at 6-0, ranked 17th in the country. And they're the highest ranking team in the CCIW.
So the big question out of the timeout is who's guarding Baltimore. They're matching up here, and it's going to be Lambesis.
As the inbound comes to Kudrowski, Titans up by 4. Kudrowski guarded by No, switched by Lambesis off the screen to Baltimore. Hand in his face, tough three, No pulls down the rebound for the Titans. Yeah, he's dribbling out of trouble. No one can catch him. He flips it ahead to Lambesis, goes for the dunk and had it blocked, but they're going to run out of time. Baltimore will put up a three-pointer. It is long, and Illinois Wesleyan escapes. Well, they were unable to foul Corey No. I'm not sure it would have made much difference. And they almost ended up with the Lambesis dunk. Johnson got the block, but not enough time for a rally for Carthage as Illinois Wesleyan holds on for a 95-91 victory here at Shirk Center.
I'll tell you what, the Titans hung on at the end. That was a terrific college basketball game. Up and down. Boy, the pace of that game from beginning to end was really, really good. And Illinois Wesleyan does hang on for the 4-point victory. But here, you got to give Carthage a lot of credit. They look dead in the water there, down by 9, and Keenan Baltimore just about rallied them by himself. Boy, he had a terrific night and kept the Redmen in the contest all night long.
Yeah, this is going to move into some almost historic territory for the performances we've seen at Shirk Center with 41 points. It's not the most. Kent Raymond's 44, I believe, is still the highest that anyone has scored here. But 41 points and carrying this team on his back in the second half to almost steal this victory. But Illinois Wesleyan gets the victory 95-91. And we'll hear from Coach Ron Rose and a player guest as well. Back in just a moment on Classic Rock 98.3 WBXG, Rock of the Heartland.
5. Kudrowski, 15.
And welcome back here to Shirk Center at Illinois Wesleyan. 95-91 the victory for the Titans. They get their first conference win of the season. Our player of the game is sponsored by Musselman Insurance, and it is Luke Yoder, the freshman, coming up big tonight with a, let's see here, 26 points and big free throws down the stretch. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun out there, just playing my game. I just went out there and we were bouncing back from that loss to Wheaton. We really played hard and came out with a lot of intensity.
What were the last couple of days like in practice? First reviewing the tape against Wednesday and probably not feeling real good about that, but then bouncing back here tonight.
Yeah, we had a salty taste in our mouth after that loss to Wheaton, and we really came to practice focused the next day. Looked at what we did wrong against Wheaton, really executed in practice, and just focused the past week, and we've came out ready to play.
And Luke, you guys played a lot of 2-2-1, a lot of 2-3. We hadn't seen much that defense out of you guys so far this year.
Yeah, we were trying to switch it up, like not let Carthage know what we were doing. We were doing like on makes 2-2-1 to 2-3, and then on misses we were in the man to try and switch it up to get some time off the clock so they couldn't get into their sets.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, and if you can drain those 5 or 6 seconds off that shot clock, it makes that 2-3 zone a little bit more advantageous for you.
Yeah, that helps a lot because then they're rushing their shots and taking bad looks.
Yeah, and Luke, talk about the end of the game. What are you guys trying to do? You know they're trying to foul you. Are you trying to get to the line, trying to move the basketball as quickly as possible?
Yeah, we were just trying to take care of it and get across half court and not turn it over, and then just be strong with it. And we know they were going to foul, so just be strong because we were going to get free throws.
Hey, Luke, talk about, you've played a lot of games in the Shirk Center, and I've seen a lot of folks from Central Catholic here coming to watch you play. Talk about being back in Bloomington and playing in your hometown.
Oh, it's great. There's a lot of support. People are always coming up saying hi to me, and it's just great to have a lot of support coming to the games.
especially with that Central Catholic family. I've seen a lot of Central Catholic kids coming to watch you play here the last couple weeks.
Yeah, a lot of the little ones look up to me. It's cool. It's like you're a celebrity.
I got to believe that has to help the comfort level when you're playing here, not only in front of the home fans, but fans that have known you all the way since you started dribbling a basketball.
Yeah, and I've played here a lot. I've played here in elementary school, junior high. This court is home to me.
So when Grant Wolf went down with the injury a couple of weeks ago, now we knew that you were going to be a key contributor this season. You were already starting to be that. What did you and Coach Rose talk about in the coaching staff to prepare you for this role where you were going to be playing more minutes and taking on the starting role, at least in the interim?
What he said a lot was just play your game like I did at Central Catholic, be that leader, because that's what they need is a leader out there, and keep being aggressive. I shouldn't shy away from anything because I'm a freshman. I just got to be aggressive and look for my shot and keep up the defensive end too.
It's a short list of point guards that have started the first conference game as a freshman, and there's a reason why, because it's a huge responsibility. You seem unfazed by just about anything.
I don't know. I think I just have good composure. I just let the game come to me and just relax and just have fun with it.
Well, Luke, we look up for some more great performances out of you. Congratulations on the victory. And
thank you.
I bet you there was a little bit of desperation tonight, knowing that you might be looking at 0-2 and picking up the victory here at the Shirk Center.
Yeah, we really wanted to come out and punch Carthage in the mouth, knowing they're undefeated. We knew they were going to come ready to play, and I think we came out with a better mindset.
We get a little time away from basketball. You get ready for finals next week. So what's on your agenda? What are you thinking about as you get ready for finals next week?
Just a lot of studying.
Well, that's what they do here at Illinois Wesleyan, the student athletes. But then you get ready for Augustana a week from Sunday.
That'll be a big game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we appreciate the time. We've enjoyed watching you so far this season. Looking forward to seeing you out there a lot more.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that's Illinois Wesleyan freshman Luke Yoder from Central Catholic with a 26-point performance tonight in the victory for Illinois Wesleyan by a final of 95-91 as they get their first CCIW victory and hand the Redmen their first conference loss. And Coach Ron Rose is just about to make his way up here now. So we'll bring him up to the microphone. Congratulations on that first conference victory here tonight.
That was a big one. I thought, I saw you just talking to Luke. He grew up in a hurry, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I thought our team, I'm just pleased that our guys responded to a tough game last Wednesday, to coaching, to the film, and I thought really played hard tonight.
So kind of changing things up on makes and misses, trying to keep them off balance as much. We saw 2-2-1, we saw zone, we saw man, we saw a lot.
We want to try to get them out of rhythm. We watched last game, and they seem to get in a great rhythm, so we wanted to change up defenses to try to keep them out of that rhythm. I thought our guys, for the most part, did a good job. 24, obviously, Baltimore had a great game against us, but they were going to get some shots, and our focus, at least initially, was keep the ball out of the low post with that size, and I thought our guys did a pretty good job with that.
Matchups were really intriguing on both ends. I'm sure you saw their size, but they probably saw your speed, and it kind of goes both ways.
Well, I thought early on, Doug Wallen and Charlie Bear really played to their strengths, and we were trying to get Doug coming off a lot of ball screens, the post-to-post. I thought that was an advantage. I thought he really set a great tone for us. I'm really proud of Doug. He came out, and he had a great focus about him, a determination about him, and I think our guys really fed off his start.
Yeah, and also you can see Doug showing some leadership at the end of the game, getting guys in the huddle. Hey, we're okay.
Yeah.
We're okay. Hey, it was a 9-point, now it's a 2-point game, but we're okay. You're going to knock down these free throws.
Well, it was Doug, and once Charlie fouled out, and freshmen and sophomores. And so he was providing some tremendous leadership. If you spend any time with Doug Wallen, he might be the most positive man on the on the earth. The guy is just bubbling with enthusiasm, and I'm really happy with how Doug played and how we responded. Certainly, we need to work on our 2-minute drill and taking care of the basketball better. But at the same time, we didn't get down. We just hung in there, and that's a great win for our young team.
Your freshman point guard, Luke Yoder, I mean, maybe solid is a great word. I mean, just solid defensively, solid offensively. He's hitting the floater, knocking down the free throws, and just rock solid out there tonight.
Yeah, when you think of Luke's game, that is what you think of. He defends. He makes the right basketball play. I was glad to see him be more aggressive today. We thought the more we could get their big guys in ball screen situations, we were going to either the guards were going to be able to come off with some opportunity or a roll man, and they were staying with the roll. They didn't respect the young freshman,
right?
And he made them pay.
So you decide to go 2-2-1 just to kind of slow them down a little bit, take a little bit of time off that shot clock, and maybe put a lot less pressure on your zone then?
Yeah, I mean, there were times they were crossing it, with just a little over 20 seconds to go, and we put that in yesterday. And so our guys really, it's nice that you can do that with smart players.
Right.
And so, yeah, it was a tempo thing too. We still got into the 90s, both teams, but when you look at their percentage shooting, how much they've scored this year, we wanted to try to slow them up offensively.
What do you do with a Keenan Baltimore who all of a sudden is just making every shot? I mean, there's only so many adjustments you can make on a 6'5" kid who can go inside and out.
Well, and if you give him too much attention, then all of a sudden their inside game gets going. And I thought we did he had 20 at half. I think he scored a bunch late also. I thought that the first 10 minutes of the second half, we did a much better job where we showed him a little more attention. Our wings and our 2-3 got out better in the second half than they did the first. But he is a really good player, and he can score at multiple levels. And, again, they are such a balanced team that it's hard to guard them all. And, tonight was his night. He obviously played really well, but I thought we did a pretty good job on Perry, Johnson, and Kradowski also made it a little tougher on those guys.
So obviously a sense of desperation a little bit, coming in with the 0-1 record. Do you talk about that? Do you just kind of let things naturally happen, or just could be natural desperation from the players out there?
Well, we talked about how you play.
Sure.
And not about the situation, not our record, not where we at in the conference. We talked about how we performed. And we were really disappointed on how hard we played, with the toughness in which we played on Wednesday. I thought our guys really responded, and this is how you're supposed to play. When you tip the ball up, you're supposed to play hard. You're supposed to be tough. And I thought we were tonight. So we didn't worry about the records or conference championships. The focus was on playing better basketball.
And Eric and I kind of talked. We could see a lot of this in the CCIW this year. I mean, there are a lot of good teams in the conference. Augustana kind of ran away with it last year, but there's really nobody that way this year. A lot of parity in the league, and we're going to see a lot of balance.
Well, there's probably 6 teams that could be in the top 25. I mean, there really are, maybe 7. I haven't seen Carroll play yet, but there's a lot of really good teams. It'll be yet determined if any develop into a top 5 or top 10 team, but there's certainly teams that any night out, it's going to be a competitive game and anybody can win. And so, Carthage comes in on a roll. This was their first away game. And so, I think we benefited maybe from a little bit of that as well.
And the challenge will be you'll be beating each other up throughout the year, so it'll be hard for 1 or 2 teams to emerge, which often is the challenge in this league. But we've talked all year about rebounding and how critical that has been. And I don't know what you were hoping for tonight against a much bigger Carthage team, but you guys are +5 on the boards tonight.
Yeah, I think we're down 2 at half.
Yeah.
So we really did a nice job the second half. Our goal is to win the rebounding battle. We've got guys that, I thought Doug was really athletic and quick to the ball. Charlie obviously is a gifted rebounder. He just has a nose for it and works at it. And, our goal is every night out to be consistent. Wednesday we weren't. And, again, this is something I think the key is, and we talked about this, what do you bring to the team individually? What can we count on as a group where it's a consistent thing every night out? That it's not one night we really rebound and the next night we don't. And so we're trying to work on those type of things that the mental focus and what you can bring to the team on every given night.
And Doug and Charlie both had double-doubles tonight.
Did they really?
Win. So, yeah, 20 points and 11 for Doug, and Charlie had 13 and 11.
That's tremendous. I mean, those are guys that you count on to perform because those are your juniors. There are 2 juniors that are playing now that Grant Wolf is out, and so you count on those guys stepping up, especially early here in the season as other guys are getting experience.
What does this week look like now for you with final exams and with Augustana on Sunday?
It's tough, isn't it? I mean, our guys are, I brag about them all the time. I mean, last semester we had a 3.43 team cumulative GPA. These guys are serious students, and they're here at Illinois Wesleyan to get an education. So we're going to give them here the next few days to focus on the books. We'll get back together probably on Wednesday, and then on Wednesday we'll start preparing. It's actually kind of nice that the game isn't until Sunday.
Sure.
Gives us an extra day of prep, gives us an opportunity to let these guys get a little head start on their academics as well.
Well, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on the win, and we'll see you in Rock Island in a week.
Well, we appreciate you guys being here. Thanks.
You bet. Titans coach Ron Rose
Thanks,
as
Coach.
Illinois Wesleyan gets the victory 95-91 as the Titans improve to 6-2 on the year and 1-1 in the CCIW. Carthage dealt its first loss at 6-1, and they are 1-1 in the league. Let's look at the final numbers tonight. The Titans shot 49% from the field for the game, 34 out of 70, 7 of 16 from three for 44%, and they were 20 of 26 at the free throw line for 77%. Carthage shot 49% from the field as well, 32 out of 65, 11 of 28 from three, a lot of that from Keenan Baltimore. We'll get to him in a moment. And they were 16 of 19 at the free throw line for 84%. Titans were +5 on the boards, 39-34. Titans committed 8 turnovers, not many at all, but quite a few of those came late as they kept Carthage in it. Carthage full court press did cause them some problems late. Carthage had 13 turnovers of themselves, and the Redmen had 9 block shots, too, for Illinois Wesleyan. Titans had 4 in double figures after having none on Wednesday in the loss to Wheaton. Luke Yoder finished with a game high and career best, 26 points, 8 of 12 from the field and 8 of 8 at the free throw line. That included some critical ones down the stretch. Luke also had 4 steals in the win. Doug Wallen had 20 points, 11 rebounds, a solid double-double for him. Charlie Bear had 13 points, 11 rebounds. Peter Lambesis had 14 points and 3 boards and 3 assists. Keandre Schumacher had 8 points. Corey No had 7. Some big free throws down the stretch. He was 4 for 6 at the stripe. Alex O'Neal had 5 points, 4 rebounds. Cody Mitchell did not score. Matt Leyritz saw some time as he works his way back into the rotation, recovering from the toe injury. He had 2 points on the night. Keenan Baltimore was a powerhouse for Carthage tonight. Finished with 41 points. 8 of 10 from three-point range, and there was a high degree of difficulty on just about every one of those. He had 3 rebounds as well and 3 assists. Brad Perry, next was Jordan Kodrowski, had 15 points. Brad Perry, 14 points, 7 rebounds. Sean Johnson, close to a triple-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 block shots. That's a triple-double variety you don't see very often. Came just short of that. 5 for Philip Bulatovich, 2 for Krishan Cook, who fouled out. Jacob Pulglaze had 2. TJ Best, Joshua Washburn, Preston Lakutta, and Adam Radcliffe all played but did not score as the Titans get a crucial victory here tonight on their Shirk Center home floor.
Certainly did. Get to 1-1 in the league, 6-2 overall, and I know they were disappointed by their performance on Wednesday night against Wheaton. And give Wheaton a lot of credit. They played a really good game Wednesday night, but Titans, boy, bouncing back with a big one, a 4-point win over Carthage, able to hang on in the end. And, boy, Luke Yoder, the freshman point guard, just had an outstanding game. But the Titans got contributions across the board, a good victory. And now going to be heading to Augustana on Sunday. So 8 days from now, they'll take on the Vikings. Always a fun trip going to Rock Island. We'll see if the Titans can pull off their first CCIW road victory 8 days from now.
And we'll be bringing you both of those games as part of a doubleheader. It's an earlier start on Sunday. The women's game tips at 1 o'clock, and the men's game will follow at about 3. And we will have both of those games for you here on WEXG. Our coverage starting at 12:30 on Sunday, a week from tomorrow. And we'll get to Augustana in a moment, but they're going down to the wire against Carroll. North Central beat North Park 78-56, and Augustana just made 2 free throws to take a 58-55 lead over Carroll with 15 seconds to go in Rock Island. Carroll, a one-loss team coming in, and Coach Rose alluded to just a moment ago that they could be a potential 7th top 25 worthy team as they come into the game tonight at 7-1 with some quality victories, and they're taking Augustana down to the wire. And that's an example of what you said, Joel, in that every game is going to be a war for 40 minutes.
Yeah, it certainly is. And as Coach Rose alluded to, you've got 7 teams in this conference that are going to make it really difficult on you every single night, and Carroll doing that to Augustana here this evening. And there's probably not going to be a lot of surprises in the CCIW. Every game is going to be tight and close, and we saw one tonight. Boy, a terrific game. Boy, Keenan Baltimore just really played well for Carthage. He kept them in it throughout the night, shot the ball well from the outside. He was a tough matchup all night long for Illinois Wesleyan, but the Titans have just enough to pull out the 4-point victory here at home.
A big night for Luke Yoder as well, 26 points and 4 steals for the freshman, our Musselman Insurance Player of the Game. For all your insurance needs, call Musselman Insurance, your local Pekin Insurance agent, at 309-829-6233. Make that 6323. And we congratulate the Titan women for eking out a 62-61 win over the Carthage Lady Reds earlier tonight. Game-winning basket by Sydney Shanks for the victory for Illinois Wesleyan. So it was quite a night for Central Catholic Saints to play starring roles in Titan victories, and that's the way the home fans like it, certainly.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it's really fun to see both Keandre Schumacher and also Luke Yoder out there, U-High and Central Catholic products, playing for the Titans and do an awfully good job as well. And boy, we see Carroll pull within a point now with 8 seconds to go in the game as the Vikings trying to hang on right now in Rock Island.
Well, they're going to try to go to 2-0 before they actually know this is their first game in conference play, as they await Illinois Wesleyan a week from tomorrow. Again, our final scores: Illinois Wesleyan knocking off the Carthage Lady Reds 62-61, and the Titan men knocking off the Red Men 95-91. For Joel Swanson and Hunter Reimers in studio, I'm Eric Stock saying so long from Shirk Center. You have been listening to Illinois Wesleyan Titan basketball on Classic Rock 98.3 WBXG, Rock in the Heartland.